Hey guys, what's up? It's a podcast. We're here. We're in it. I don't know. We're just gonna jump in with that. It's episode 31. Welcome to From the Sidelines. We got a special guest here tonight, Mr. Paul Stallard. But before we get to him, let's introduce the host. If you're new around here, we got our boy Stephen Hatch.
What's going on, baby? We're back in action. Episode 31.
Hell yeah! And then we also got the man, the myth, the legend. I always got to call him that. Brandon Baird.
Ooh, I like that.
Dude was doing
Very
surgery
accurate.
today.
Yeah, did a couple. It's all right. That's another story.
That's another story. And then last but not least, we just want to thank our sponsor for tonight's episode, which you have Liquid IV. So we'll talk about them more if I can find the front of the packaging. There we go. You can head over to their website, liquidiv.com, and use code Mafia_Mothfit. You can get 20% off and free shipping. So we'll talk about that more on later if you want more information. But, yep, you can go check that out right now. So getting to our guest, Mr. Stallard, how are you doing tonight, man?
I am doing good. That's the first time anyone's called me Stallard, for sure. But I'm doing good. It's a Tuesday night. It's wet and rainy. It's been raining all week so far.
Yeah.
And
Am I mispronouncing it?
happy to be here. To be honest, I don't know. No one's ever told me it's like, this is how it is. I always get Stallard or Stallard, but I haven't ever done Stallard. It's got like a nice
It
little
just kind of flows, yeah. No, that's the one I like. So I'm gonna go
like
with it.
fancy Paul.
It's like I need like this afterwards, or like
Yeah,
you're,
little
you're holding
pinky
your
up.
tea with like your pinky up kind
Pinky
of thing. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Paul right there.
Well, yeah, man. So, I mean, we wanted to bring you on tonight. We got a fuck ton to talk about, as always. There's, well, I just feel like it's that time of the year. You know, first event's coming up. Layout's gonna drop
So
this
close.
week, so it's getting spicy.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Oh,
Let's go.
fuck. Yeah, it does drop tomorrow. Well,
Well,
if you're
it drops
listening on
tomorrow night.
Patreon, it drops tomorrow. If you're listening
it
on
already
the regular
dropped.
show, it's been dropped, and we've already played the event. Or actually, no, we're about to go ahead to the event.
We're on the
But
way to
yeah,
the airport.
so one of the, obviously we wanted to talk to you kind of about some of the semi-pro stuff as you're going to be on that squad heading out to Florida. But then, yeah, you're wearing one right now, but you got your own little headband company, Squll Headbands, that you've been working on for, I want to say, a couple years now that I've known about.
Yeah, this is
Could have been
yeah.
more. But yeah, and then also there's some just more other roster changes. Harris has finally been confirmed on the Legion. And we've been playing a lot of Among Us. So we got a lot of shit to talk about tonight. So let's jump right into it. I mean, first and foremost, let's talk about Squll, because I think a lot of people kind of know about it, but it would be cool to kind of know, your side of the story.
Big
Yeah,
fan.
dude.
Big fan.
Big fan. Check it out right here. Squll Headwear.
Yep.
Where to dive in? Squll started during COVID, like everyone's latest hobbies. It actually started out with my mom was doing some sewing to make face coverings for like first responders and hospital workers right at the outbreak of coronavirus. And there was a shortage, like masks weren't available. So she was making a bunch to donate to people. And she had the sewing machine out, and we had a whole lot of fabric that she had left over from who knows what various projects they were from. But I saw the fabric laying around, and I was like, hey, I've helped you sew up some of these face coverings, and I was like kind of thinking to myself, I wonder if I could make a headband. I had a Sandana headband at the time, and I was like, that's denim. This is denim. Like, why not? Let's see what happens.
It should work.
Yeah, and that was kind of like the start of it all. That was what birthed the idea. This is actually the first one that I created a set of. I gave this out to my teammates on squad in the year 2020 World Cup. That's actually where the misspelling of Squall comes from. The SQU is a tribute to squad, the team name. And
Nice.
yeah.
Another thing, part of that squad kind of history, your guys' chant, "Have fun, don't die." It's on all the
Yep.
all the packaging
Love
as
that.
well for Squall.
Yep.
Was that from squad, or was that something that was like from Squall and kind of?
That was from squad.
Okay.
And it was like just another way to embrace the idea and kind of the personality of the team at the time. And at the time I was giving the headbands away and like coming up with the idea and making it, when I was giving it to the teammates, it wasn't something I thought of as like blossoming into really anything bigger. It was just kind of like a very wholesome, organic, like close to home kind of thing. And I was like happy to give it to everyone I was on the team with. And the name, the slogan. It's all just kind of all
from
stuck
that.
with it
Yeah.
ever since. Yeah,
Lifestyle now.
yeah.
It's a lifestyle. It's not a
live by
brand,
that,
Mom.
dude.
It's a lifestyle. Okay.
I agree. It was never a phase.
It's not a phase.
I'm not growing out of this.
I'm gonna play paintball and make headbands for the rest of my life.
Let me just say, Paul. First off, I'm a huge fan of your headbands. You know, on the field, those are the only headbands that I will wear. Seriously, dude. After this past weekend, with like the weather and everything, dude, my headband that's like gray. It was like black with all the turf and everything all
I
over
remember.
it. God, but dude, so I put my headbands to a beating, and so I just legitimately think that they're meant for the long haul. So I'm a big fan of your brand, Paul.
I appreciate that. I put a lot of time into them, so that's kind of the goal is for them to last. So,
Brando, what are you wearing? What are you
They're
wearing
good
there?
quality. Hey, yeah, this is the debut.
debut.
Yeah, man, we all got one last year at the SAC NXL that we ended up winning.
That's
Paul's
true.
debut
Yes,
with us.
sir.
It would be pretty sick if we could actually see it, but Brandon's webcam doesn't want to cooperate with us
Damn
right
it!
now. So
Let me.
Can I tell you where that name came from? Debut, where it came from?
Where'd it come from?
It's got a dual meaning actually. So, and this wasn't planned, but well, part of it was planned, but not the dual meaning, the duality of it. The first meaning from the name was it was the first time I ever sold headbands at an NXL event, and that was the style that I made for the event.
Mm-hmm.
The second meaning was it was my first tournament playing with DMG, who I tried out for. The event was in August.
Yeah.
And I tried out for them all the way back in December, and for whatever reason, I hadn't been able to make any of the events prior to that, and that was the first event where I got to play with you guys and sell headbands up at NXL.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you stunted that event for sure. I remember you running down the field in the very last point with a fat ass hit on your pack in the very front, and you're just like let's go, and he's like, off the field, just running off the field.
Like, oh, I need to leave.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, we were good because we had so many people left. I don't even think it would have mattered.
We were 5 up before I walked off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys said it. Was that final point? Because I remember that. You guys just full on with Pops were like, all right, Pops, play home. Everyone else run. And like you guys just ran down.
Everyone else kill him. Pops hit the buzzer.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
That was an amazing event. What a true experience with Nico and his dad.
For real.
That's a real wholesome experience.
Yeah, winning a
How
D3
cool they got
tournament
to
with
do
your dad.
that. Yeah.
Many people
Just
don't
like
get
a
to experience
paintball
that.
tournament in general, so much has to go right for you to win an event.
Yeah,
And
plus that at the home field.
yeah, and to do it with your legit blood family members, like father-son duo, and then you're the dad and you get to hit the buzzer. Like,
Yeah. Fire. You
How
could have
cool.
been. How much would that have sucked if you got shot off the break, dude? How much would that have sucked?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, and I think there is something to be said about when you play whatever sport it is, paintball, there's other families and, other sports, baseball, like the Cal Ripkins come to mind. But, there's a reason why, like, we saw J-Bo and Debo both try out for the Ironman and, like, want to go play with each other. There's just something about it. It's more satisfying. It's maybe a little bit easier because you know that guy better. Maybe it's a little bit
Stat
harder.
boosted.
Like, and you see it all the time. Like, we got the Edwards brothers, the Boyan brothers, like the Jackson brothers back when, like, AC was playing really well together. So it's,
That was a good one.
yeah, there is something to that.
Yeah, you don't really see very many family duos in the pro league or in general.
Right.
Period.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, I think you literally named all of them that I can even think of.
does
Yeah.
Pro Division?
The New York Extreme ones.
the Husseins?
Hussein,
Okay, but
Harris,
now obviously
and,
Harris is
Azin,
gone now,
or
but
Aslan,
Yeah.
however you pronounce
they
his
were Arslan. I think that's how you
name.
pronounce
Yeah,
it.
something like
I think
that.
that's how you pronounce it.
Sorry, man.
But man, dude, shout out to Harris for making the Legion, bro.
Yeah, no, and we were gonna bring that up a little later, but I guess we'll jump into it now. So that's been confirmed by the Russian, organization. It's been a whole bunch of troll posts and Harris posting some of the world's best porn acting that we've ever seen. Did you guys see that post? Oh my
No.
god, just go look it up. I don't know what thing is, I think it's on Christian
platform?
Rivera's Riviera Media. I may be saying that wrong. Sorry, Christian. But yeah, if you look it up on there, it's like a video of him like trying to pick a team. I can't even describe it. It's one of those things you have to watch. So go look that up if you're listening to the podcast. But yeah, no. So Harris finally confirmed he's on the team, which is going to be kind of exciting. If you were paying attention to like Spick and Span earlier today, he was talking about how it seemed, at least from his perspective, Kirill and some of the other, Russian players, they wanted to kind of pick up someone who could help them kind of learn more of the American style of the game. And of course, this is all just third-party information. This came from Harris, so I have no clue if it's true or not. But that kind of seemed like his take on it, is that they wanted him to come in and kind of help, teach them, how Americans play paintball, as, more a little bit opposed to how, the Russian style and their very methodical and kind of almost more individual based system is now.
They picked him up as a mole.
Maybe.
He's infiltrating the system.
Damn, I didn't even think about it like that.
They're just trying to
This
get
is
green
deeper.
cards.
This is deeper than paintball, boys.
It is deeper than paintball. I think that's really interesting that they're trying, if they are trying to learn the American style of play.
Yeah, so
I feel like the Russian style of play is just so like.
Well, it's so the way he was describing it, and I'm kind of inclined to believe him as he has been practicing with them a little bit. They definitely seem, to play a more individualistic style of game. It's not as communication based. It's not as like setting moves up for your other dude based. And you can see that if you watch some Russian game film. Like, they definitely set up great breakouts and plans, but once they get there, it's okay, maybe one or two words, and then I'm gonna go run this dude down, or I'm gonna snap him out. Like, it's more, I'm gonna just play such better individual paintball than him that we're still gonna win that way. And that's, that's what Harris was kind of saying. They want to kind of not move away from, but implement more of like the team kind of, the team paintball. Like, one of the examples he gave was just like, simple call outs you guys use, like, hey, a side is dead. Like, just one word call outs, things like that they don't necessarily think about as much, because they just look at paintball in a little bit different of a way.
I mean, if that part is true, them wanting to learn American side of paintball or whatever, if they're looking to grow their organization and team and everything, I guess that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense that it'd be Harris. I mean, like, just from watching them.
So, like, a lot of people like to hate on Harris. Harris is a pretty good 3. Like,
I'm not saying he's bad.
No.
I'm just saying that.
But that also works out for them, because that was that's a position where they can put him on the field. He can be a 3, and he can, be that voice in between. Whereas they're not, as comfortable and used to that. Now, again, I'm just speculating, but I do think that information could make sense, like, if that makes sense, because I think Harris's ability and skill comes from his knowledge of the game, if more so than his athletics. Sorry, Harris, we know you're fast, we know all that stuff, but I think your skill set is more your intelligence.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Russians lost Sergey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and another player
that's
to
like
Revo.
Pretty interesting.
Or was that?
I saw they definitely did lose
yeah,
a guy from. They definitely did lose a guy to Revo for sure.
Russian names. I never remember them. I'm so sorry.
Kozyrev.
Yeah, Kozyrev.
Yeah, Kozyrev.
What he said.
That's his name.
But yeah. So that's the kind of exciting roster news. I mean, shit, dude. The event is not this weekend, but next. Like, it's pretty much here.
A week and a half.
In a week, we're gonna be flying.
The only one layout weekend really kind of throws it up.
It does make it seem like it comes out of nowhere. Like, you're like,
yeah.
Oh, shit, we're about to go to an event.
We're doing this.
I'm excited, man. I think it's gonna legitimately be probably it's gonna be the hardest paintball challenge that any of us have faced for sure, right? I would say. And I embrace the challenge. I ain't a pussy, right? So we got to make sure that
show up fast, like really fast. Not only like the event itself, right? Just the one weekend to practice the layout, but the jump in divisions, and it's the speed. I mean, last weekend that was the big adjustment for me, was the speed, and I think this might be a fast year. I don't know. Feels fast.
I agree. It seems we have a lot less time of obviously studying on the layout, right? So I just think now it's just come down to who can learn it faster, right? There's going to be so many times where I think there's going to be, this is where the teams that get to play during the week are kind of going to show, right? Where because you're going to be able to see so many different bounce shots, right? Because it's like the average team, dude, when they're only playing on some teams only play on Sundays, right? But the average like NXL competing team is Saturday and Sunday, right? There's just only so much light in the day, right? So I think the teams that get to play during the week are definitely going to thrive for sure.
I mean, that also goes back to, I've said this point on the show before, field owners, install lights. Like, okay, obviously now there's less time, like there's less days that people have to play a layout. Well, how can you get people in? Install some lights, because that's more time in the day that normally they would not be able to play that. And yeah, obviously there's an economic, investment you have to make there. But I mean, hell, just, take PB Fit into example. They get a lot of, I would say they get a lot of their, what's the right way to say it? Like customers, because they can offer stuff that's weird times. Like they have middle of the week paintball on Wednesday night. Like there's probably dudes who like, yeah, I would love to play, but Sundays I got to church, like I usually have to do stuff with my wife on Saturday. I can't get to a field. Can you come by Wednesday night? Like you can still play a little bit, like you can enjoy it. So I think that's, that is something that could help maybe level that a little bit. Because yeah, you are right. If you're an Impact or, you're a team in a division who can be like, hey guys, after we all get off school, we're going straight to the field and we're drilling for 6 hours today. Like if you could do that, great on you, but obviously not every team will.
Oh, that's the dream, man. I wish.
Can I ask you guys your thoughts on something?
What's up?
Yeah.
I'm wondering. So like this whole last year, when I was doing a lot less playing than I thought I would be doing, a lot more watching than I thought I would be doing.
Right.
I was thinking about how teams prepare for layouts and how they practice layouts, and everyone's always excited to run points. And Sundays, it always seems like that's all we do. We're running points. We're going to run as many points as we can get in. But what I didn't see was a lot of teams running drills. But I feel like the quality time spent in drills trying to help you figure out like certain sides or places in the field or certain situations you might find yourself in on the field. So, and I don't have any like disposition as to how you answer this. I'm genuinely curious your thoughts. But what are your thoughts on running a full day of drills on a field layout compared to a full day of points on a field layout?
So
you go
ahead, Brando. You go ahead, Brando. You handsome motherfucker.
I love drills. Like growing up through all sports, it was drills. They're tiring, but there's so much satisfaction. At least for me, there was so much satisfaction in it, in being able to do all the drills, break everything down piece by piece, understand it, do it well, and then put it all together come game day, actual game day. And paintball, the run of points is so much. It's a lot more fun. Yeah. But I'm all down for drills, especially with this being a one weekend, and depending on our opportunity of who we can or cannot play on the weekend. Like, if we're just stuck just us playing us, I think it'd be beneficial if we're just running drills, 3-on-3s, down bodies, island drills, whatever it may be, running through a circuit, getting those shots dialed in, for your specific checkoffs and everything, I think it'll be key.
Those circuit drills, dude, that Brando we run, man, those get me gassed sometimes. Not gonna lie.
Oh my god,
a workout.
One thing that I wanted to stack on top of that one real quick is I think it's very beneficial, like for the layouts, to obviously play points, right? Because you get to be in those scenarios, right, live in a game. But I will say, sometimes, at least from my experience, right, sometimes around like 1:30ish, that's where almost all the teams start to fall off, right? All the teams that like aren't like, grinding teams, So that's when I would say when people start to when the field starts to clear out and everything, that's when it's time to run drills after your long points, when you have like some leftover paint, right? Because obviously, it doesn't require a bunch of an expenditure of paint, right, just to run some drills. And plus, I think at the end of the day, you're completely fatigued from playing all day, right? It just adds on top of that wear and tear on your muscle memory, right? So I think it's good. Teamwork, baby, makes the dream work. In Val and in paintball.
Some things with drills, like you can't always practice everything in a drill. Like sometimes you have to be in a point to get that experience to figure it out. When we played last weekend, for us, it's like we can't get that speed of playing against another team that was that quick unless we're playing against a team that's that quick. Like we can't practice drilling for that. Agreed. They had to come out and play against us for us to get the experience.
And man, this past weekend was a wake-up call. Hell yeah, man. Practicing impact, dude, that shit was awesome, right?
Yeah.
Definitely a completely different pace of game, right? Those guys don't even have to think for their two-man operations, right? It's just like, hey, I got it. All right, bye, right? And then it's out, right? They're already out, getting wider and wider and wider, taking little ground by little ground, right? And if we get a kill, right, then they start to hunker down and they wait for you to make a mistake, right? Yep. Very, very methodical chestnut checkers team, without a doubt. And I see how they're so successful, because goddamn, they're good.
They don't. It's second nature to them. It's
yeah. Yeah. We have a lot to learn.
Still tired from the weekend?
Mentally, yes. Yeah. Mentally, I'm tired. I'm frustrated still. Again, I feel like we went in there with no expectation, knowing what the situation was. We're stepping up to the plate, and it's goddamn impact. And even then, it was still frustrating. Because we're breaking all the points down. I felt like we were talking after the points and breaking it down pretty well, trying to make the adjustments, but the adjustments mid-game, they were just
fell apart.
Too quick for us to adjust as a team.
Yeah, I agree. So what's up, Paul? So since you're not new to the team, but this is going to be your first, season with us consistently, right? So what do you think of the team so far? How's the vibe? How you fitting in? Obviously, we're on to so what's up.
I'm so glad you asked. First of all, shout out. Shout out to the one time. I wanted to talk about, like obviously last year was a lot of more watching for me and more practicing for me. I kind of felt like a red shirt in college would be how I would use that analogy for my introduction to the team. But I also got to watch the pro line a lot the past couple of years. And even when I did my tryout for DMG, I originally was trying out for the pro line. I was trying out for I'm looking to the sky. I'm gonna shoot for the stars kind of thing with my tryout goals. But overall, I'm so happy I ended up where I ended up. There's nowhere else I want to be playing paintball right now, and there's no other group I want to be playing paintball with. My belief in you all is tremendous, and it's because I see the cohesion you guys have as far as not just playing together, but you all are friends, if not family, with each other, and you legitimately love and know and get along with each other, and I think that's a really special bond that you all have that is really hard to find, especially when it's genuine. And I think that's what I appreciate most about this group. The other aspect on a more personal side is I am an outsider, just by association. I haven't been in the group as long. I'm new. I'm coming in. I can see how close of a group this is, but at the same time, you all have accepted me. So also, I'm appreciative of that. I feel very respected. I feel like I'm also giving respect. A lot of you, I feel, are enjoyable to be around. I did along talking paintball with you. I did along talking other stuff with you. Lately, it's been Ollie's jokes and kombucha jokes, but I'm learning how to get around those. It's not all amazing, I guess I would say, if I'm being completely transparent with you. But it feels like a group of brothers, and I'm an only child, so
Me too.
having brotherhood is like, and so is AJ, which is kind of ironic because he's
What
like
the
my
hell?
best friend. So
Let's
yeah,
go.
it's like weird how we all come together. But what I wanted to talk about the pro line last year, the past couple of years, we were talking about practicing impact at a high level, and there's like a level of playing that you can only get while playing in matches or within points. And it reminded me of teaching. So as a teacher, one of the things you learn about when you're planning lessons to deliver material to students so you can teach them appropriately is you have to meet them where they're at, like where they're physically and mentally able to learn and grow from. And that's different for every kid. But the idea is that if you don't challenge your students enough, they're going to check out. It's going to be too easy for them. They're not going to learn anything. Easy to understand, right? If you challenge them too much, they physically cannot learn what you are teaching them. So you have to find the middle ground, and that middle ground is called the zone of proximal development, ZPD, and it was created by like some psychologist, I believe, or
some smart person.
Some guy that did the research. I want to say it's by Gotsky, but I don't know for sure. I should probably look it up. But the ZPD is different for everyone. But what I saw the last 2 years with DMG, watching them play Impact and Dynasty, was it was like the pro line was here, but where they were being challenged was like out of their zone of proximal development. It was too much of a challenge for them that they couldn't learn from it, and there was no middle ground. There was like no balance to them. And the pattern that I saw with that team, and why I ultimately think they got relegated, was they were like practicing how to lose. They were training every weekend on these layout weekends. All they were learning was how to lose on the layout. And it didn't matter how much time they spent, how much money they spent, how much paint they shot, how many times they broke down the layout or the plays. They might win a couple of points here. But overall, as a whole, every event, playing those top teams, I don't know if it benefited them. And in the meantime, I was watching them bicker with each other. They're mad. Tempers are through the roof. They're frustrated. Like, learning is frustrating if you feel like you're not learning. Wow. Growth is frustrating if you're not seeing not immediate growth, but at least some growth. And I feel like that was the downfall of the line that was above us. Was they were too far out of their learning zone. It was too much of a challenge. It was too big of a bite for them.
Yeah.
And
no, and I mean, to co-sign that just a little bit, like, that is a lot of what you saw last year with that group of guys. It would be a lot of emotions and frustration, and not necessarily at each other, but it would come out at each other just because it's like, I have no one else to put this out at right now, and I'm just mad because we've lost 20 points in a row, and we don't even know how we're losing. And yeah, that does cause a sense of almost resentment almost towards the sport, because you're like, why do I suck so much? Like, I don't
why
get
are we
supposed to enjoy
all
this
the time?
Yeah.
Right? How are we losing all the time?
Yeah, I'm supposed to enjoy this. And so the first year I watched them play, which was 2 years ago, is when I first started to notice this. And then the second year is when I really started to appreciate where I ended up within this organization and on this team, is because the whole time I was watching the second year of them, this relegation year, I was watching that bickering, I was watching the outbursts, I was watching the tournaments live, watching them lose, and I was thinking to myself, like, thank God I didn't make this team. I'd be putting in all this effort, all this time, all this travel, losing, not having fun. And I just became so appreciative for the group I did end up on, because I saw the contrast, right? Like, I saw the bickering of the pro line, and then I saw like the laughing and the smiles and the fun and the love on the at the time the D3 line. And as an outsider, now being a part of that, this team who I've practiced side by side for the last 2-3 years, and now I'm a part of, it just felt like, I don't know where else I'd want to be. Like, it felt like the right next step. So I'm really looking forward to this next year. It does. And I'm born and raised in Sacramento, so this is another way to have home continue to be home. And it seems natural and organic and fitting, and I'm excited about it.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, man. Well, you know me, dude. One thing that I've always respected about you, Paul, is we don't sugarcoat shit, right?
Yeah.
We've always I've always been a fan of you because you're a pretty hype guy like myself, right? You definitely hype me up. Like, yo, keep your head up. Even when we're having a hard day, it's like, yo, keep your head up, right?
Mhm.
And I've always appreciated that out of you, and you motivate me, bro, and you inspire me. So I appreciate that, Paul. I'm
Likewise,
excited to
champ.
have you. I'm excited to have you a part of this team, dude, because it'll only amplify.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, it's like you get that stat boost, bro, when you're playing with your boys, bro.
Yeah.
You get that +5 efficiency, dude.
Mhm.
The chronos don't show it, but we're definitely shooting hotter because we're together, without a doubt.
I don't know if you want to
know.
say that a week before the event, but okay.
Hey, bro, what the chrono
Premier
says.
field refs are going to be looking at you guys hard.
Yep, what the chrono says is what the chrono says, dude.
Really quick, what I wanted to go back to the ZPD that you brought up. It's a good point. I like that. I don't know, just never thought or put thought into that in that way. That's really cool, and I think we could relate that to this past weekend with us. Because obviously we're punching above our weight class, practicing impact. It's too much information to us to really process and to implement. But then come Sunday, we were playing against other divisions, but we were still focusing on what our adjustments from the previous day.
Yes.
And felt like by the end of the day, it wasn't about winning the points. It was fixing, making the correct adjustments that we were not making the previous day.
Yeah.
And I felt like we all came together and did that.
And there's nothing wrong with like assessing where you're at, right? Like it's not a bad thing to scrimmage impact, but to do it as your main practice,
As like a consistent, yeah, I see what you're saying there.
you're not gonna grow. You're gonna like stunt yourself short. You're gonna burn out. It's gonna be too much.
Do you mean by like the taste of losing, like just getting beat down every weekend?
Well, it's kind of like,
think
that's a valid point.
Mental and mentality it's huge. I think a lot of people almost skim over it, but its importance in anything is paramount. I mean, if you, we always say it all the time, but look good, feel good, play good, like that thing is real because you have that confidence, if you're going onto a field and you're going out to that primary bunker and you don't even want to look at your opponent, well, the first time you do, his ball is going to be right there waiting for you. And it's like that. You need to have that confidence of like, I am supposed to be here. I am as good, if not better than this team. And I'm going to show them that.
Yep. Hell yeah. I like that. I like being the 1% better, right, than the guy you're playing against. So it's like, gives you a little bit of an advantage while still giving them respect. You know what I'm saying? It's like whoever's 1% better at that moment.
And that's the goal. And that's the mentality to like get to the top, I feel. And I think teams, like we all want to be dynasties. We all want to be impacts. We all want to be, like pick your favorite top pro team. But to get there, like all those teams had to grow together, and it's good to have chances and opportunities to practice them. But I don't think like at a dojo, the top black belt is going to be constantly training the brand new white belt, and that's going to be like his all versus his all.
Yeah.
This guy's not going to learn very much, and this guy's just like he's going to be toying with him.
No, that's a great ass point, because like, yeah, if you go into a BJJ studio or something like that and you're like, yeah, I'm new, they're not gonna be like, all right, so here is MMA fighter, Victor, and he's been training all of his life, good luck. Like, they're not gonna do that.
Fighting bears in the snow his whole life.
Yeah. It's like,
welcome to our gym.
Some gyms may do that. I don't know. Maybe they just want to, kind of, okay, now you're gonna learn. But yeah, no, it's not a good way to have people learn on their first attempt.
Right, trial by fire, but you're burnt to a crisp, and you don't ever want to come back.
Yeah. Thrown into fire, but it's like a volcano.
Yeah, it's like lifting weights, right? Like you got to lift an appropriate amount so the next day you feel sore. But if you rep too much and you tear a muscle, you're not growing, you're injured. Like you have to find that weight that you can push, and that's constantly going to change, right? Like your opponent's levels are going to change the better you get. But if you do too much too soon, too quickly, like you're damaging yourself. And for paintball, for something that's fun, for like a release for us, for something we enjoy, like we don't want it to be damaging us. Like,
yeah, and I agree. Another one of the points I wanted to bring up.
Yourself.
Oh, sorry, Brandon. But another one of the points I wanted to bring up, you were mentioning there is like these teams, the dynasties, the damages, the impacts. They've all been playing paintball since we were all 10. Like, that's the other thing you got to think about. When I went back for that balls video and looked at a lot of archival footage, the faces I saw? I saw Justin Cornell, Rainey Stanzek, young Marcelo Margot, Alex Goldman, like
Billy
all
Bernaccio.
These guys. Yeah, Billy Bernaccio, like the young Colt Roberts, the young X Factor. Like, you see these kids and, they're men now, but they were kids back then. It's like, well, yeah, they've been doing this for their whole life. That's why they are so good at it. And if you have only spent maybe a fraction of the time and kind of expect to be at that same level, it's gonna be a harsh wake-up call.
I agree.
Are you a little delusional?
Maybe.
You might be.
And I think that practicing impact, we practiced impact in the past, right? But we didn't get like, an entire day, right? When you get an entire day, obviously you're going to get beat on a lot, right? But I don't think at any point did we like, obviously we're frustrated, but at any point did we not think like, oh man, I'm not having fun anymore, right? The entire time, right, we're still having fun. It's like, because right at some points we would get it down to like a 2-on-2, right? And we keep grinding, then it's like, oh fuck, that one little mistake is what cost us, right?
Gotta be able to close it out.
Right. So it's like, I think for us, we're having so much fun learning that it's like, even though we missed it by a single mistake, right? Let's try to get ourselves in that scenario again and fix it. Right. We're just constantly going back and analyzing every single thing we do. Right. Where it's like, there were a couple moments, right, where it was you and I, Paul, or I was watching and it was you and Logan. And I was like, yo, Paul, I think you probably should have been a little bit closer to him, right? At this spot right here. Right. And we're just learning at a sink or swim level now, right? Because you can't make those mistakes.
Yeah.
You give an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
Yeah, one of the things I've said to you a lot this offseason, even at the field hatch, is like you've been saying something about a team, and I'm like, well, yeah, you think Distortion's gonna do that? You think Blastcamp's gonna do that? You think PB Fit's gonna do that? And it's like, it's just reminding you, because I don't think you don't know, but you guys are stepping up. Like, you guys are going from kind of we take this serious, but we're still kind of new at it, to the, okay, this is our life. Like, this is everything. Exactly. Like, you guys have made that switch, and it'll be interesting to see at the first event. I'm not, what's the way I say it? I think you guys have prepared for it in the best way you can. Like, there has been seriousness, there has been hard practices, there has been
transitioning into those teams that you're
there has been the will that you've been trying to put in this offseason. Of course, first year, first event, maybe you guys go into 0-4. But I don't think that
anything can happen.
But I also think that would be the best thing for you guys, because I think you guys are a team that would take that and be like, all right, like, we got to learn. Like, let's figure it out. Yeah,
in the vault.
So I'm excited no matter what happens for the first event, just to kind of see how you guys are able to handle these little more experienced, little more kind of solidified semi-pro organizations.
There are no easy games.
I don't know about you guys, but like personally, on a personal level, my first goal going into the season is to win a point.
Yeah.
And then like from there, it's like win a match. And then from there, it's like make it to playoffs, right? Like have a winning record. And it kind of builds from there. But this is new territory. This is like brand new for us,
I mean, relating that back to Valorant, I was watching a match the other day, and one of the commentators was like, they're down 9 rounds right now. Their thought isn't, how do we win this game? Their thought is, how do we win
How do we
one?
get one?
Like, what do we do to win a single round? And then you can go from there.
That was us an hour and a half ago.
Yes,
Ryan.
it was. Yes, it was. That was a rough game. We don't talk about that.
God damn, I fucking love Valorant. But man, the learning experience that we're forced to have is just nothing but excitement. At least with everybody that's on the team, I can see it in everybody's eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's like everybody wants to be there, right? Everybody wants to make it that threshold where it's like, okay, we're having this just for fun, to like, this is our shit, right?
Well, and that's where the fun starts to be. When you get better and you start competing,
winning's fun.
It's in the challenge of like overcoming the failure, of overcoming the obstacle. And so like, yeah, that weekend was hard, and at times it was frustrating, and you're really in it, but it didn't feel dark. It wasn't too upsetting or too depressing to where people started checking out. It wasn't toxic to where people are malicious or negative with each other. We're all scrambling to find answers, but at the same time, we're like still looking out for each other and like, hey, keep your head up. Like, hey, good job. Yeah, it didn't go the way you wanted, but like this, and this happened. Good job. No, that's not what I wanted. No, listen to what I'm saying. This, and this happened. Good job. No, I don't listen. Good job here, here, here. Okay, thank you. Like, the struggle is there.
I know what you're talking about, Paul.
The struggle is there, but it's not. We aren't suffering, right? Like, we're struggling, but we're not suffering. I think there's a difference between the two.
Very
and I
good.
think we have a lot of good. We have a good mentality as a team to learn and grow as a team, which I think will separate us in the long run.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and Brando, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Since you were there last season, it's like, dude, now we have like almost a completely new roster than we did last season, right? Completely different personalities.
I mean, yeah,
a lot of people came and went.
Some did.
I mean, yes and no. A lot of the guys who came have been around the field, just from my perspective. So it wasn't like it was completely new faces. I hate to say it, maybe AJ is probably the one that is the newest, just because I know like Paul has played with you guys before a little bit, but I don't know how much he has. But yeah, I mean,
AJ's taking it like a champ, right? There are times where he was obviously a step behind, right? Well, obviously with our calls and everything like that, right? And just our team,
and just familiarity,
right?
Yeah,
exactly, right? He didn't know the voices, didn't know, like the really fast calls, like the switch calls, right? And it's definitely showing. But now that it's like he's getting more comfortable, right? At least there have been times where me personally in a match where I'm looking around, I'm like, all right, everybody's shooting the same way. Fuck, AJ, look this way, right? You know, where it's like establishing that connection, right? And that's where the decent teams become good, is establishing the connection for sure.
And you're getting that trust.
Just to finish my thought, all I was going to say is AJ was one of the newest guys, but the other guys who came in, Caden, Logan, like guys from the organization, Micah, like they're your guys' brothers already. Like that wasn't really like a new player for you guys.
I would agree. And
I know Logan played with you guys the last couple of years, but like Caden coming up, he hasn't necessarily been on that same roster. So it's
he was stunting on his team, right? So it's like at some point I was like, yo, Papa Cedar, let's think about picking this kid up, right? Because obviously when he's stunting on his team, right? Why would we not? We got to feed the camp somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm glad AJ's a part of us now. I think he's gonna be a good teammate to have, because I'd definitely rather have him on my team than play against him for sure. Right. Obviously, there have been times where me and him are shooting the fuck out of each other. That is what it is, right? Love that shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that whole rant, there was a lot of things you brought up. Not really a rant, sorry, more a monologue. But you brought up the teaching side. And I did actually want to ask one thing about that. So last year, or was it last year's World Cup, or was it the World Cup before already? 2 years. Maddie gave a little shout out to you and your class, and I love what you did. You had them like fake react to it, because the actual reaction wasn't very good. That was cracking me up. But I mean, kind of what's the story behind that?
So I think what event was this? I want to say it was Philadelphia.
Philly? Okay.
Maybe.
I thought it was
Philly last
year. Maybe I'm wrong.
Was it World Cup and we won?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think so.
I can't remember off my top of my head.
I don't remember.
in the past
But
at
anyways,
an event.
what I remember is, so like last year I was working at a different school. I was teaching a different grade level. I was teaching 3rd and 4th grade combined. And it was during that time when I just started working, and I started working there in March. So like March, April, May-ish. It could have even been the first event of the year. But I wasn't there. And yeah, I was like typing in the Go Sports chat. I was typing on the Messenger. I was typing on Instagram, like Maddie Marshall, Rich Telford, like someone see this, please. Like I want to try to get a shout out. We're going to cut time out in the day to watch the event. Like, why not? And finally I got a hold of Rich and I asked him to do the shout out, and he was like, all right, we got you. I was like, yes, let's go. So
Nice.
I remembered it didn't happen during the first match, because the first match I spent all morning trying to get it to happen before the match started, and we missed it, and I was like, ah, shit. But we got it for the second match. So we're watching the second match, and I let my kids know ahead of time. I'm like, hey, I got a shout out for us. Like, listen up. And I'm gonna record it, and I don't tell them that I'm gonna record it because I want it to be a surprise. But as Rich is starting to introduce the shout out and Maddie starts to take over, they're like, we want to give a shout out to Mr. Stallard's 3rd and 4th, and that was like all he said, and the room just erupted. Like it was so loud. Didn't hear the shout out at all. You heard like 2 words, and the next thing I knew, I had like teachers from next door coming over and like looking through the window. Are you okay? I was like, we're fine. It's good. Okay, just checking. But so then after they had all their fun and they got it all out, I backed it up, hit pause, I talked to everyone like, hey, can we actually listen to the shout out before we start being so excited? And they were like, yeah, we'll do our best. So we pressed play again, let the whole thing play out, and then that was their reaction to that, was after like actually hearing what was said to them for them.
No,
Let's go. That's awesome.
I like
Cool.
that.
They're like 8 and 9. I can't blame them. Like,
yeah, they were excited, you know.
That's the youth, bro. That's the youth. They're gonna.
that's what it's all about.
I hope
So,
one of those kids is gonna be on an NXL field one day. That'd be awesome.
the next like shredder, just like no.
Dude,
So sick.
I've seen this one kid who plays out in Florida, dude, who, no joke, looks like he is a young man.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he wears a Connor Kelly jersey. You know,
I've heard his name before. I
I don't know
feel bad.
his name, but I don't know his name.
How old is he? Do you know? Like, what's his age?
He's like
Dude,
8, 9, like around that age.
Young.
Oh,
too.
wow.
Like
and he has like a full setup.
He's a full setup, and this kid sends it. This kid does not stop running, and I'm
full running down the
respect,
street.
Man. Like it's
Right.
Oh yeah.
Same
Really?
thing. Christian, the guy who had some of that footage, the Harris video. I've seen some footage of that kid on his page as well. But
that kid's a freaking beast.
Okay.
He's gonna be a natural
Shout
prodigy one day. For
shout
sure.
out him. Shout out little Nico Podesta. He's gonna fuck kids up
Nico's
soon.
a beast.
Yeah.
Shout
Little Nico's a
out
beast.
Cooper down in Texas. That kid's a beast too. He fucked me up at Mac Expo. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of like young kids who are coming up in this game, and so
They're gonna be good.
It's what's our
Little Ev, man. That kid's gonna be one of the greatest. Little Ev.
Yeah, no,
Evan's great.
all I was gonna say, it's very encouraging to see. You know, we know there is gonna be at least some type of next generation for this game. How big it will be, we don't really know yet, but we know that there are kind of the guys, the kids who are getting into it to try and build that.
Dude, I can't wait for when Noah's confidence on the field matches his confidence off the field. Because those are night and day. And if he got those to match, game over.
I hate to say
So
it,
good.
Noah kind of reminds me of Bear. Like a young Bear who just, is so confident in
hype man,
himself,
dude.
and it's
Bleached hair.
it's crazy. Like I'm jealous. Like, can I get 4% of your confidence, Noah? Like that's all I need, bro.
I love little Noah, dude. He's always like, "What's up, Patch?" He gives me the fattest fist bump, dude. I love that.
Sav ass Noah.
He's a really good kid. He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a lot of kids, want to come out to a paintball field on their weekend, right? Obviously, I know Noah's a gamer. He's in my Discord, right? I know that little kid's a gamer, right? So it's nice, seeing him at the paintball field where it's like, all right, at least not every kid just wants to sit inside and play video games all day, right? Because obviously, I'm a gamer. I want to do that shit.
Well,
right?
and I think that's
But
also a little bit of a like, it's a miss. God, I can't think of my words right now. It's a miss like summarization of it, because I think a lot of kids play games because that's what they have access to. They don't necessarily have access to go out and play sports and shit like, you know, our generation of kids kind of did. You know, some of that's COVID, some of that's funding for stuff. Like there's a whole big conversation there that I don't really want to go into, but I do think that is some of it too, is like, well, I can play Fortnite. It's on my PC. Like it's here. I can do that. And I don't know, other things may not be as easy.
I remember throwing a football in the front yard, man. The good old days.
Yeah, I used to play catch with my dad, bro.
Can't relate.
Sorry, when you said that, I imagined you like
Can't relate.
throwing a football by yourself,
Yeah.
Uncle
going to where
Rico
it lands, running
That's me,
to it,
for sure.
picking it up, and throwing it back.
Dead ass, dude. The sad part is, I would try to do that, dude. At least
Oh,
sometimes.
I just realized why. That's so
Yeah,
dark.
bro.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Hey, I had some friendly neighborhood kids that would, you know, throw football with me every once in a while.
Okay.
It just sucks
For
because,
sure.
you know,
That's good.
having no dad, you
There it is. There it is.
You threw like a
Hey, dog, I
sissy.
played basketball by myself every day, so like I did it.
Okay. At least you got the net catching your ball, bro. Come on, bro. You got the net catching your hopes and dreams.
Jesus.
Shit,
But,
that's
you
good.
know, it is what it is, right? Important
Hell
things to
yeah.
have fun.
So Paul, with you teaching and everything, I think it translates like really well to the team, to our team. You know, it probably has with actually, you know, talking with other squad players, like it has like translated to every team that I guess you've been a part of. But it's something like I think we all can very much appreciate how like you're calming, the calming factor of you being able to come in the pit and bringing everyone together, and it's like you don't have to tell us to like, hey, shut up, like everyone listen. It's hey, you know, everyone
Shut
come,
up.
yeah,
Quiet,
it's,
coyote.
hey, everyone come
Quiet,
here,
coyote.
Okay.
yeah, everyone come here.
1,
Let's
2, 3
listen
eyes
to,
on me.
yeah, you
One,
know,
two.
let's listen to the
Eyes
play.
on you.
And like I don't know, it might be the fact that you are like, you know, the size of a giant. You know, it's whoa, all right.
God damn, I say it like that, bro.
Brandon.
I mean, you know, he's pretty tall. We're short dudes, Hatch.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah, whatever.
The bottom part of the screen is the tall portion. The top part is the small portion.
Yeah. How does it feel? How does it? Yeah.
How does it
Hey,
feel to
dude.
actually get something off the top shelf? I don't know. It feels great, bro.
Dude, I still get to use a step
Whatever.
stool, bro.
Whatever.
I ain't the tallest guy, but I'll still use a step stool.
Just that little gangsta two-step. Little tap tap.
Dude.
But do you notice it, or is it something that just kind of came naturally for you, or is it something that you kind of focused on doing it, or how'd that come about?
Yes to both of those things. It is something I'm working to be more intentional about. It's also something that like I've always kind of found myself doing, like without being aware of it, especially in sports. That's where I noticed it with sports. It was like I was always stretching out players, always leading warm-ups. I always found myself like being the captain or
IGL,
being
dude.
You're out here stretching dudes out?
yeah.
Damn.
Um,
That's some
Let me tell you,
commitment, bro.
I appreciate the stretch outs. Paul.
Hey.
No one else does, but I appreciate it.
That's that footage I have of freaking Blake going for Yosh, getting his hammies all warmed up and shit. Dude,
That's
Oh, I
that's
don't mean
team
like
love right
like
there.
I don't mean like pulling up some other dude's ledges. I
mean,
just mean like
that-
leading the stretches we do.
No, that's team love. I think that's what you meant. You're getting in there. You're looking at him in the
Not that
eye.
I've wrapped up my teammates' ankles before with like not like I wouldn't do it, but
We'll be expecting
kinda-
that from now on. Now,
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Hey, Paul's prime. For
Paul
piggyback
is now the
rides, let me just
athletic
say.
trainer of DFG.
I am here to serve. So here you go. I'm a warrior, a servant, and a fool at your
Thank you.
dispensal.
I appreciate you.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's something that I do focus on. I do think there's a lot of value in like bringing people together. So I would say my focus isn't on like, oh, how can I be this leader? It's rather like, how can I pull everyone in to, how can we all get on the same page? Like
Big
that's
old
where the
giant arms
mindset comes
pull us
from.
in close for sure.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you have to pull people physically
Literally,
in.
yeah.
But like one of my favorite moments that I've had so far with this group was, and it kind of goes in line with what we're talking about, was the finals of Sacramento NHL
Where
before they
everybody was in
started.
it.
We had the
Oh.
D3 and the D4 team huddle up in the pit, and the energy in that group and being able to call out a chant and everyone's yelling it back and the eye contact and just the whole moment of it all was a really strong
heat.
feeling.
You
Yeah,
couldn't lose.
that was
Dude, the other pits were shaking in their timbers, bro. I'm telling you that. Shivering.
that
in their
was
timbers.
magical.
They're
Shivering.
That
shaking in
was
their boots.
magical.
Yeah.
I
There's no
loved
way
that
the other
moment.
pit. There's no way the other pit was gonna win.
And
There's
that's
Not a chance.
I mean, so it's funny because it's a little bit off topic, but relating to that, that's one of the things that, you know, I'm not a big soccer fan, but there are parts of European football that I think are really fucking cool. And
That's
the
the one.
crowd energy and at the drop of a hat, 40,000 dudes will all sing this chant that every single one
Everybody
of them knows
knows.
by heart. And it's like, what the fuck just
How?
happened? Like,
How?
it is so fucking cool. So I feel that like just energy that you can't really
Mhm.
put words into. It's just this like kind of sixth sense almost. It's very powerful.
You're like
So
tapping
nice.
into like your ancestral roots. It's like the haka before a rugby
Yeah,
match, and
yeah.
everyone behind you is like war cry ready, and it's
Dude,
just
I was ready to hunt some mammoths for sure, bro.
Yeah.
After that,
Dude, if I
caveman
ever
style.
had to play against the New Zealand All Blacks and this fucking dude is like eating my heart in front of me imaginarily, I'll be like, yeah, we're good. I'm not gonna play the game. Like
gotta go.
that dude's about to kill me. I'm walking
I
away.
think my mom called.
Yeah, I gotta go home.
So, but also on the other side of like being more intentional, I think one of the biggest challenges I will have personally with the transition up is at the D3 level where we were at. I felt confident, like I can get a baseline, like we can put 3 guys, make sure all the zones are checked off, like you're watching Snake Dorito middle, like we can come up with a plan and it's good. At this higher level, there's a faster pace and there's a little bit more moving pieces. And so trying to learn that while also bring that togetherness that I'm looking for, I have to really do a good job of staying present and with everyone, even though individually I'm trying to learn and catch up as well. I think that's my biggest challenge in front of me is like, how do we all stay together? And maybe it's not just a personal thing I do. Maybe I'm asking all of you for help. And that's going to be one of the lessons along the way that I need is being more vulnerable and asking for help and not feeling like I have to do it all on my own. But that is my mindset going into this. It's like, how do I learn and then also be an effective leader or teammate? Because that's the goal. I want to go through this together with all of you.
We're all in this together, cause we
Fucking
know
love that shit, dude.
and stars and we see that. Hey! Okay, but moving on. So yeah, we're all in this together. Corny ass High School Musical jokes. But yeah, so okay, it does seem like some of the leadership that you're trying to impact is a little bit intentional, maybe a little bit not. But yeah, no, and I think a lot of that comes from you being a teacher. You know, like we were saying, because I think being able to teach and being able to coach are skills in of themselves. Just because you're great at something doesn't mean you can teach it. I will 100% admit right now I suck at teaching. Like I'm not very good at explaining to someone what is going through my mind and what I'm trying to do when I'm doing something, because a lot of it is just kind of like natural flow and like it just kind of happens. So it's harder for me to be like, well, I'm doing this and that does this and, you know, all that examples. So it is, I think, you know, having someone like Paul who, you know, he has kind of that, you know, like very strong, can help break something down and make it more relatable to all the guys. I think that is a very, you know, beneficial thing to have.
I agree, and the fact that you can break it down to me like I'm 8, dude.
Explain like I'm 5 with everything.
God.
Hey, when the blood's flowing and there's tons of paint flying at you and you're covered in paint, that's sometimes how you need to hear it. That's like
Need one word
where you're
answer.
at.
I agree, and I was telling Gage and some of my other friends about how I was like, okay, we still have a communication barrier, right? Obviously with our team, right? Because like the way with you and Logan, Paul, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, dude, I'm the
I had to
translator,
ask
bro.
him for help on Sunday. I'm like, I need you both here because I need to talk to Logan and I don't know how.
And I don't
Exactly,
know
right?
how.
And
Did
the
he
thing is-
really?
That was literally a millennial to
Seriously.
Zoomer moment. Like I don't
Literally,
know how to
the thing is-
communicate.
And the thing is, we eventually, after like a 5-minute talk, we got to the common ground where everybody understood, right? Paul was like, okay, obviously now I should have been up there with Logan, and Logan's like, okay, obviously now I should have been on the attack a little bit more, right? It was very productive, if I'm being honest.
The funniest part about that whole conversation is I pulled both of you over so that I could have your help Hatch with talking to Logan. The funniest part, Logan and I never talked. I talked to Hatch. I tried to get Logan's attention. I said something to him. He got bird-brained and paid attention to something else. I lost my patience, and you had to talk with him after I left. And then after that, it was all fixed.
We got to a common ground together.
Yeah.
in unison.
That's so funny. Oh, dude, the things you don't think about playing with a ADHD Zoomer on your team, like
Dude, Logan, that kid is a character.
I don't
dude.
know how that dude is able to like have all the equipment he needs for his job every day. Like, how does he not forget something? Like, oh my
How
gosh.
is he not poison himself?
I don't want to dox him too much, but yes, that is a valid point. How does he not do that?
I would agree. I'm gonna ask him that one. But he knows. He's like, dude, I know all the ratios for all the chemical imbalances and for the water ratio, and I'm like, all right, bro, relax.
Okay, so if anyone ever gets poisoned around Logan, let's all just kind of question him first. I'm feeling like
It might not be a coincidence.
Might be
Might
Micah,
not.
actually. I think the thing is.
Wait, so do you think Micah would be doing it and then self-reporting to try and
This is the
get
hard part.
Logan?
Play Among Us. This is the hard part. It's because now that we play Among Us so much, dude, bro, I don't know who the fuck to trust anymore,
Dude,
bro.
so for the podcast listeners, we've been playing Among Us like the past couple nights. When we have like a lot of people in the Discord, will jump in. I don't trust anyone anymore. Like the amount of gaslighting and just horrible shit that comes from that game. Oh my god, you
Dude,
just don't
paid
trust
actors,
anyone.
dude. Seriously good actors we got on our team.
Micah
Some
almost got us
little
last night, bro.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The thing is, that motherfucker, dude. I was his partner. He killed somebody, and y'all blame me. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding me, dude?
Hey, well that happened.
What the
Well,
hell?
it happened to I was with Logan. The same exact thing happened. I killed Michelle right off the rip, and then someone else found
Oh,
it, and they're
man.
like, "Oh, it was Logan." And I'm like, "Well, he is a traitor, but he didn't do that one."
And then the thing is, if you defend him, they're like, all right, well,
Well,
now
that was
it's
you too. Yeah. So you're just like,
That's the guy who
fuck.
just gets voted out. You're fucked, right? Any kind of logic that you think you have, dude, you got to throw it out the window when it comes to playing with us.
Pretty much.
There is no sense of team anything. It's every man for his goddamn self.
Including AK being a third imposter most of the time.
Yeah, AK's like, well, I know I seem pretty sus right now, but like it's not me. I'm like, dude, come
It's
on,
not me,
bro.
but it's also this person because I'm 100% positive they weren't there. We vote them out. The game still's going.
It's
Well,
like,
I guess it
oh.
wasn't them. Like,
And then he goes, all right, well, if it's not them, vote for me. Then it's like, it's not them. And I'm like, fuck,
Damn it.
do I vote for him?
It sounds like playing against walk-ons at Capitol Edge. Like when
Dude,
the
a little
advanced
bit.
walk-on group comes up and you're like, shoot, this isn't gonna make any sense.
Yeah. They just run everywhere, and we just have no idea what to do, and then they just somehow
Yeah.
shoot you in the back.
Yeah.
God,
Well,
it's
and
Odd
it's-
timing.
It's funny you think of that, like, relating back to video games, but if you see like a pro in that game play against someone who's very bad at that game, the very bad person can almost win because of just how random they are. Because it's
I
like,
agree.
I can't predict you. Like, you aren't doing anything that you logically should be doing, so thus, like, I'm actually now scared.
Like they're
Beginner's
predicting
luck.
big brain movement, right? That when it's just like walks at you like a zombie, you're just
Yeah.
like, it's like, when an MLB pitcher, dude, he's expecting a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, bro. You underhand that bitch, he's like, oh, he doesn't know how to hit it, dude. That guy has no idea how to hit it.
I think an underhand is a little bit too generous there. I
That
think
one
that's going
was obviously
450 out of the
generous.
yard,
That one
but
was obviously generous.
yeah,
But,
no, you're right.
5
That's
mile an hour changeup.
I was gonna say that's why there's change ups and fastballs. Yeah, so you can kind of get people
You know?
off, but no one wants to hear about baseball. God, I love that sport,
Nah,
but fucking no
mhm.
one does.
Baseball's lame, bro.
No, you're wrong. Baseball's
Get out of here,
great.
Brando.
But yeah, so I mean, Among Us, it's been a lot of fun, kind of seeing who we can trust and who we can't trust.
I think it's great team bonding.
Also, shout out to Papa Cedar imitating Brandon last night, taking his full identity.
It confused me.
I was very confused.
The only difference was the fucking snowman, the snowboarding goggles, dude.
He changed that.
Eventually
he changed that.
Yeah, Brando had the surgeon thing that surgeons haven't used in like 300
Like the
years.
mirror, yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Is that to like? It's for light, right?
Can you educate me, Brando? Can you
I think so.
me?
I don't know.
My guess is I
we
think
don't
it's
use that.
for light, so you could reflect
Reflects
light
the
off
light.
and then go
Reflection.
down. Because you know how most surgeons or dentists or something, they'll have like some type of
Back then
headlamp.
they didn't have a headlight.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like Brando. Do you got headlamps in your surgical room?
It would like when we do like total joints. Yeah, we put like helmets on and they have fans and lights in them.
Oh, so you got the like. Oh, okay. You got the full hazmat suit going
fans.
on.
Essentially.
I've seen this on like Grey's Anatomy and I've read this online, but have you ever run into like a person with like toxic blood that like
No.
in the air? Is that
No.
like
No, what?
Okay.
What?
that's a thing? It's happened. It's happened.
It's happened, yeah, but I haven't.
Okay, I was just genuinely curious.
Toxic blood is in like it has a parasite or something in it, or is
No,
like,
it's in, like,
No.
it's releasing stuff into the air that like it made people like pass out in the room performing surgery.
I forget exactly
would
what it
cause
was,
that?
but it was. Oh, man, what was it? I don't remember.
Look it up.
some type of
Toxic blood. Here we go.
weird chemical gas or something, but okay, that makes no sense. All right, well now we're gonna do the episode or the part of the episode where we pretty much become a scrub show and talk about, or no, sorry, house, not scrubs. We talk about some weird medical procedure where we need to, lobotomize him or something to cure him.
Damn, dude. Okay. So Gloria Cecilia Ramirez was a woman from Riverside, California, who was dubbed the Toxic Lady or the Toxic Woman by the media when several hospital workers became ill after exposure to her blood.
Like skin contact, like I guess
But why?
exposure is the
Like,
thing that's weird, like just
they,
in the air, like just airborne.
Yeah, they were doing surgery on her, and like just in the air, it made
But
everybody.
that also
go,
doesn't make
sick.
sense, as anyone in a surgical room would have some type of
This is a
airway
long time.
protection
So
on.
okay, the
no,
date
No,
for this
back
one
in the day.
is-
Okay, if it was back in the day,
So,
that makes sense.
She was in the time frame between she was born January 11th,
Brandon,
1960.
are you telling me
died in
right now
1994.
that there's surgical technicians who are not wearing some type of like airway stopping device?
I mean, it's our the mask.
Yeah,
It protects
it's
it protects me
something.
from splashback, but
Flashback. I like that.
splashback. But more importantly, it protects the patient from my germs.
Yeah, because that's the.
But
Oh,
I'm
that's
still
the big-
breathing in. I'm still breathing
Oh,
in
I see what
the
you're
same
saying.
air.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
that is the
So anything airborne, it's still coming into me.
Damn.
question. Are surgical rooms, do they have filters in them at all?
Oh yeah,
They have like HEPA and all that. Like,
yeah. So that there's a certain airflow. It's high pressure in that room.
Oh, so that way it
So-
stays in the room and it doesn't.
Yep, air's being blown out. So you open the door and air rushes out instead of air coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So that
yeah.
the room stays sterile. And
that way stuff goes
there's
out,
a
but
certain
yeah.
airflow. Yeah.
Dude, look at all
So-
this smart stuff that people think about to
I
help save you
I
when you gotta
got
get something removed.
got a thinker.
How many gunshot wounds have you worked on? Based out of the
None.
location you're based out of?
None.
None? Oh, so
None goes- none-
okay.
none- no gunshot
That's not
wounds.
your work.
No,
Oh,
not yet.
Damn.
yeah. Ooh, is
Yeah.
that like a promotion? Like you go to the trauma
Uh,
unit, or?
I got something in the pipeline. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
Would it involve a move or?
No, I could stay where I'm at now. Working in a
Nice.
different city.
Okay,
Um,
but still close enough that it's that's good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, well, okay, good for Brandon. Brandon's making moves out here. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Know to operate on me for sure.
Yeah, no, that is kind of
just come
like
over. I got
life
supplies.
goal. One time, like, just let Brando
If I
open
get
me
hurt-
up, see what's on the inside.
Yeah. If I get hurt on the paintball field, I know Brando has my back for sure.
Oh, I got everything in my bag. But
Really.
it so I did see someone in the operating room that was like, holy shit, like, hey, it was my fiance's cousin's girlfriend, and I recognized the name. I just saw the name. I was like, oh, that's a familiar name. And then day of the surgery, they wheel her in, and like, I write on the board really quick with the time they enter the room, and I turn around. I saw the birthday and the name. I'm like, no. I turn around and we're like, what the fuck? Hey, it was like, the Spider-Man meme of like,
oh yeah, like the pointing. Like,
yeah,
wait,
we're pointing at each other. Yeah,
wait.
we're like, hey.
It's you. Wait. Okay, that's funny, man. No, I was thinking it'd be hilarious if like someone gets like a scrape or something out at the field, and you're like going in your bag, you pull out the like old World War II like
ripping
it
off
word.
and
Coagulate, yeah, that like and you just throwing it in there. It's like combat medic Brandon.
I want to see Brando. You scare the shit out of a kid where it's like a little boo boo, and then you pull out like a fucking bone saw, and you're like, all right, it's coming off.
Ooh, I'll pull out my scissors. I'll pull out my little bottle of betadine. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I do that all the time with like scraped knees. Like I used to work at the lake. It was like a summer camp thing, and we get the little kids, and they're like prone to falling on everything because they're uncoordinated and close to the ground. So like they learn by trial and error, and it's okay. But like they'd scrape their elbow or whatever, and I'd look at it and be like, "Oh, it looks pretty bad," and they're like crying, like they're like a 10 out of 10 on the dramatic scale. I'm like, I think we're gonna have to like cut it off. We're gonna have to amputate.
We're gonna have to take
and like it would go two directions. Like they'd tell I was kidding, and then I could be like, I can order you a new one on Amazon. Like, you want to do that? And they're like, oh, I feel better. Or they believe you, and they're like, and you're like, no, I'm just kidding. You're good. Here, put some ice on it.
How many places have you worked at, Paul? Like for teaching?
Well, kind of like my whole life. Like when I was 10, I started refereeing soccer, like under 6 and under 8. I did that all the way through high school. Then after high school, I had some like, I guess, regular jobs like restaurant industry. Worked at a water park as a lifeguard.
Yo, water park lifeguard.
Yep. And then I got really,
if you don't mind me asking.
Raging Waters, so like Waterworld, Cal Expo.
Raging Waters, that's a rough one. I worked at Sunsplash, but
did you? So I actually got fired from Raging Waters. I was I was eating an apple while I was on stand, and
you're not supposed to do that.
No, our insurance company audited us and like filmed me doing it, and so my managers, well, like I'm in a 10 by 10 pool. You're sitting on it by yourself. It's a drop slide. There's 2 slides. They go one at a time, and you're just sitting there scanning. This one person drops in the pool. They swim out. They get out. The next person goes. Real simple. I'm sitting there scanning. I got the apple in my hand, the tube in my other. I take a bite. I'm chewing. I'm looking like I'm doing my job. Well, I got filmed. And you're not allowed to eat while you're working. And my managers called me in, and I had worked there for like my 3rd or 4th year working there. My managers call me in, and they're like, they don't even say anything. They just play the video.
They're just disappointed.
And, yeah, dude, like the TV's there, they're sitting there, and I'm real cool with my managers. Like, they're great. I'm a good employee. Like, we have good relationships. They pull me off stand all the time when we're overstaffed, and like give my spot to someone else, and I can just go like walk around, check in on everyone. Like, it's good. And they pull me in, and they play the video, and they shake their head, and they're like, we hate to do this, but like we have to, otherwise we're not going to be insured anymore.
Like, yeah.
And that was it. So
an
apple, literally the forbidden fruit
is like, there's a lot of very strict rules on it, and a lot of it, like he said, is insurance based. So that way they can be like, oh, if someone does get hurt, these rules were being followed, they had this in place, the person was actively 10 feet or whatever it is. Like, there's a whole bunch of different rules.
What the hell? I eat when I work.
Yeah, but
I know
you're only dealing with people who are unconscious on a table cut open. Okay, that's not that bad, really, when you think about it.
I know.
So
after apples and oranges,
you take your mask off, and do people like give you like the little pretzels?
little Wetzel. Like,
You're not
"Here you go,
supposed
bud."
to. No.
You're not supposed to. No.
Is
But
that
yes.
how it works though? Okay, I just want to make sure.
That's
But
what
so after Waterworld, I graduated college, started working as a substitute teacher, started working at the Aquatic Center through my college, and I worked at the lake for like 4 years during summer, doing summer camps while I wasn't a sub. Then I got my teaching credential, started teaching, and then working at the lake in summers. And then now I'm just teaching full time. And last year was actually the first summer I have not worked. I just did headbands and played paintball and got ready for the next year.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
So,
You got,
that's
so you
awesome.
got some headband stuff in the works, I assume then.
Summer is
well,
the
and-
best time to dye fabric because it's hot.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense
Okay.
because you could like dry it outside hella easily. Before we get
could.
too far away from it, I have like one lifeguarding story because that was like the only
Oh, yeah.
one thing that ever happened that was cool. So we had this body slide at Sunsplash where a body slide that just means no tube, so it's just you by yourself, and it was
Yep.
like completely enclosed all the way till you get to a little like toilet bowl, and then it drops you.
The one that, yeah.
And
I know what
so
you're talking about.
okay, so that the drop pool for that, so like where you come out as, that one had to be pretty deep because just in case you're like going really fast, you know, you don't want to like fall the wrong way and then hit your head on the bottom of that. So it was like I want to say like a 6 to 7 foot deep pool. And so this kid comes down it. I've been sitting there for 30 minutes. So I'm just doing my job. Like, you know, it's one of the worst spots too, because you have to sit on the ground. So you're literally just like, this sucks. And you're just scanning at this little pool and you have to keep your head moving the whole time, even if there's no one there. But so this kid comes down, he swims over, you know, to the side. He gets out, he's fine. And then he comes over to me and he's like, yeah, so I think my friend's coming down next. He doesn't know how to swim. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Well, now I got to do my job. And so sure enough, this kid comes down and bigger kid hits the water, instantly starts drowning. Just like those people that you could tell, it's just like, you need help. And so, yeah, I had to, you know, do the emergency whistle, which is like one long whistle. I jump in, just grab the kid. I'm like, dude, you're fine. Just, it's literally right there. And I just like give him the little floaty thing and swim him over to the side. But yeah, it's literally the only like save or anything I ever did as a lifeguard was this one kind of bigger kid who couldn't swim. And so it's a pretty boring job.
When people are in duress like that, though, and they're like,
He was
trying
fighting
to
for his
pull
life.
on anything
Like
or
he was
everything,
grabbing
and,
water as that, like that's gonna help. Like,
and you're like the first person they grab to try and like get them out of there. It's not. It's
that,
like,
yeah. So
take
that
my tube. Like,
Yeah.
please don't grab me. Here's my tube.
that pool sucked too because we had to. You've probably heard of this, but there's a concept of like spinal injuries in lifeguarding because, you know, let's say someone breaks their neck or something. Well, you need to get them out of the pool, but if you move that neck more, then there's going to be more damage and injury caused to them. And so we would have to practice all the time how to do spinals in that water. And it was hilarious because only about 6 of us could actually do it because it was like, you know, water polo members, swim team members, like those people. And then anyone else they put in there, they were like, I can't tread for this long as like I'm like holding someone's head and like trying to like wait for someone else to get a board underneath them so we could flip them. It's this whole crazy process. But yeah, so fun fact, if you ever get hurt at Sunsplash, don't pray for a lifeguard to come save you because they probably aren't. Because most of them can't swim themselves.
Okay. So before I say anything, Brando, you know how to swim?
Oh yeah.
How the fuck do people not know how to swim, man? What the fuck?
They
Don't
just
learn.
don't do it as a kid. Like,
How?
I hate to say that, but I mean, I was like, you know, like I just said, water polo, like I was on swim teams my whole life growing up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
literally.
it was always natural, but yeah, there's just people who don't ever do that. I don't know, Hatch.
It's what you're
I
exposed to.
I was taught the good old fashioned, if you don't know how to swim, motherfucking float. You know, the good old lay back and just float, you know?
Have you seen those reels of like them like teaching babies how to survive and they just straight
Yes.
chuck them? They're just like,
like,
and
and-
go.
like head first, and they're just like, just going fucking crazy in the water.
Yeah,
Like, they're good. Don't touch them. They're good.
They're doing the like snaps, like, oh yep, come here.
Like, dude, he's doing the fucking caterpillar, dude. Just the one.
This kid is
elongated
having a
movement,
seizure.
bro.
Like,
But and the thing is, if
He's
that kid can get to
dolphining.
the
He's
surface,
like-
if that kid can get to the surface, anyone can get to the surface, bro.
yeah, and also it's funny too because that guy, the kid I mentioned, if he just chilled out, he would have been fine. You know why? Because fat
Standing?
floats. No, it was 6.5 feet, so like
Oh.
you could probably. I don't think he was that tall, but if, people don't realize if you have more fat on your body, you are going to float. Muscle is the dense material that will make you sink. So if you're a overweight person, you're not really going to go down very easily. Like it's actually pretty hard to get you to the bottom of a surface.
Built-in life jacket?
A little bit. Not perfect, but a little bit.
Okay.
I have so many tangents I want to run with on this.
It brings up a lot.
Oh my gosh. Can we wormhole real quick on swimming pools? Like swimming pools?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Chlorine.
Let's go into swimming pools. We've talked a lot of paintball so far.
So like working at the water park, one of the things that I picked up on was like it smelled like chlorine. And to me, I always thought like, cool, they're dumping tons of chlorine in there. They have to. There's a lot of people. Well, I didn't find out until after I worked there why it smelled like chlorine. So if you have a properly like measured
Like
pH
balance,
in your
chlorine, all that.
properly balanced pool with chlorine, it won't smell like chlorine. The reason chlorine smells like chlorine in a pool is because the chlorine's being activated. If it's not activated, it's just doing its thing. The pH is balanced. If it is activated, like someone's peeing in the water, it releases the gas, the smell of chlorine into the air, and that's what makes you smell it. So if you have a strong smell of chlorine, it usually means the water it's having to work harder than it was if it was clean. Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
That's how my mom knew I peed in the pool.
I will say a little bit of like a I've been so bad with words tonight. I don't know what it is, but a caveat for that, I guess, if it's an indoor pool, there is going to be kind of some of that chlorine buildup just because it has like nowhere to go. Even if it like doesn't get peed in a lot, there'll still be some of that. But yes, if you're at like a huge wave pool outside and you smell that, yeah, you know what's going on now. Like,
trust no chlorine.
You're in it.
But I will say, if you're at a water park, the amount of chlorine that is in that water, nothing will survive. Like nothing is surviving. It's actually
barren
kind
wasteland.
of crazy. Like the good bacteria, bad bacteria, viruses, they're all dead. Like
like surprised you're still alive kind of environment. Like how am I surviving being in this water all day?
Yeah. No, and spending all the time around it and the chemicals and shit. Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, that job was so much fun. I do like. I think the most fun moments on it were like the 4 times that I actually got to do something other than just the standard like standing and looking. Because like there's a couple times like a training doll or something was like thrown in my zone, and it's like, oh, I gotta go dive to the bottom of something. Let's go. Like I'm not gonna be bored. Nice. Or also it's like middle of the summer, so it's like 104, and you're like, time to cool down. Let's go. Yeah. But no. And then I remember I had one day on that job where I was the like training assistant, and that was the best day ever. I legit just like fucked with other lifeguards the whole day.
Nice.
I'll never forget that.
Are you the dummy thrower in?
Yeah, or like
the dummy in the water?
You'll like kind of hide it with you as you're like walking in the wave pool, like get it all the way into their zone and like drop it off kind of right underneath the tower as you're just like slowly moving, trying not to create any motion or anything.
Do you see that? When you were in the tower, would you see that and be like, what is this guy doing? Obviously there's a doll coming to my zone.
No, you wouldn't. Especially like a busy wave pool night. And that's why you do so like the scanning technique is what it's called. Because
scanning is the worst. Oh
yeah, it's literally just this technique of looking at the area you're supposed to look at, and you have to like physically move your head to like look at the area. Like I'm glad Paul's doing it too. But what it does do is like, you know, even if you miss something maybe that first time, you're kind of more likely to maybe see it when you go back that second time. And a lot of the times you'll just see kind of that like tan ish color at the bottom of the pool
under the surface.
Yeah, and you're like, that's Timmy. I gotta go get Timmy.
Poor Timmy.
Dude, ours was named Timmy too.
They're all named Timmy, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
It's just such a good dummy name.
Lifeguard training for me was always one of my favorite things. Like every year before like the aquatic center opened or the water park opened, you do a couple of weeks of like onboarding for new people and then in service for like to catch up and refresh you. And every time we do the you have to do certain rescues like front approach, back approach, submerged underwater, like possible spinal. But every time we did the rescues where you have to dive down and pull someone up to the surface, was one of my favorites. So I'm really comfortable in water and I can hold my breath for a long time. But as you all know, like I'm also a very long person, and which means that like people that aren't as long as me struggle to rescue me, and I would force them to like rescue me. So I would go underwater, I'd hold my breath, and I'd sit and I'd wait, and they would have to pull me up. And if they didn't get my head out of the water, I would just lay there and I'd go limp, and I wouldn't help them at all. And usually people are like trying to get out of the water. They're not taking it seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
They're trying to get you to do it. Like no one wants to do this, and I'm like complete opposite, all about it, loving it. This is the best part of the day. And just watching people struggle with this is kind of messed up now that I think about it, but like being a part of the struggle of like, if someone's actually drowning, you're gonna need to know how to do this, and that's like why I'm sitting here. But also it's like fun to kind of be ragdolled around for a rescue. That was really fun.
It sounds like your fellow guards didn't know the right technique, because like
I think
maybe because it's pretty simple. If you just leave your buoy up top, go down, grab their hand, pull your rope down so you get your buoy, and then let that take both of you guys up. Like it's
the biggest struggle for them is when I'd be face down and they couldn't figure out how to like
how do
flip me.
Like yeah.
Yes. It was either they were underwater or I was underwater. It was like they struggled to do both.
Well, then same thing. You got to get underneath and get up under hooks and come back.
I did a great job of my rescues.
All right. Yeah.
You probably did a great job too. It wasn't hard for me either, Ryan. I agree with you. I couldn't figure out what the problem was,
Dude,
why I had to hold my breath so long, but I enjoyed doing it.
Oh my god, because I remember like thinking about half the people who worked with me. I was like, you're just gonna kill someone. Like, why are you here? This makes no sense.
You didn't need to know how to do this, but like the faces they'd make afterwards kind of looked like Hatch and Brando right now. They're just like, you motherfucker. I did not believe you made me do this.
Why did we
I'm learning exactly how to be rescued, bro, in the most efficient manner.
It was fun.
If I'm knocked out underneath, I know exactly how to position my body to where if someone's coming to get me, they pull on their buoy and then they come get me.
They got to get down to you first.
Look, if I can't stand up in it, you're staying down there.
Good luck.
You're doomed.
All right, I'm sorry.
Look, if I'm not coming up, you're not coming up, all right?
Okay. How deep do you guys go in the ocean?
I don't swim in the ocean, bro. I don't fucks with that.
Why?
That ain't my territory.
God.
No, I'm joking. I've gone in the ocean, obviously, but I don't know.
How deep you go?
I've made like some swims out, like, a little bit, but not like past I don't know, like 500 yards or something. Like that may be the farthest, like out to a far buoy and back. But
have you ever been onto like a boat in like the open water?
Yeah.
That stuff freaks me out, bro.
I've been on a cruise multiple times.
Like I don't mind doing it, but dude,
no, like swimming in the open water, right?
Yeah, like swimming in the open water.
So we did that. I'm gonna sound very privileged right now. We took a cruise when I was younger it was a very small ship that was run by National Geographic, and it was a trip to the Galapagos Islands. And so,
amazing.
It's life. Yeah. Like one of the things I will never get to do again in my life, but it was insane that I was able to go. And, so we legitimately, there was a couple times they would like kind of anchor the boat out like past one of the islands and just let us like swim and just jump off the boat and stuff. And like they had some, like, I don't know, stuff for us, but it was a really cool experience. It's freaking incredible. Like,
anyone ever get left behind?
I don't think we ever saw Trent again, but rest in peace, Trent.
Damn. Poor Trent.
No one liked Trent.
No one liked Trent.
I agree.
There's a reason we forgot.
If your name's Trent, I'm sorry.
Poor Trent.
What about you, Brando? You mess with the ocean?
I've never like swam out very, very far. I don't know. I was stung by a jellyfish in the ocean once.
Damn.
I was stung by a jelly in Galapagos.
Yeah. Shit hurts.
Did it hurt?
They're not fun. No.
Oh my god.
Did they? How did you fix yours, Brandon?
A lot of. We tried. Fuck. What did we try? We took a credit card trying to scrape it. We put mustard on it. We put vinegar on it. What else did we try? We tried. I think regular soap. It was we we tried like doing the credit card. I guess I don't know if there's
So-
What does that even mean?
I don't even know. I was a kid. I don't know.
So-
They just like
because jellies, their stingers kind of like it'll stay on
Linger.
you, and
Yeah.
so if you can get it out, there's like less of the poison that gets in and all that stuff. It's gonna sound crazy, but you gotta pee on it.
I thought that was a myth.
It isn't. Or at least I don't know. Galapagos jellies it works on, because I got stung by one. They did the vinegar spray. They were like trying to help me too, and I went back to take a shower and I was like, I might as well try. Like there's no reason not to try, and it didn't kill it instantly, but it definitely helped like kind of numb some of the stinging sensation.
Do you want to hear what Google says?
What, that I'm a complete liar and that my anecdotal story is wrong?
I don't remember peeing on it. I don't think I peed on it at all. But I remember calling my mom and telling her that we let my little sister pee on it.
Damn.
Gnarly.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so it says
What's it say? I want to know.
it says there's no truth to the myth, but there is misconception that the warming sensation does make it feel better.
Okay, so it may have been a placebo even, but
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says numerous studies have found that it doesn't work just in the moment, right? People would like that warm sensation to be reassuring.
okay.
I wish I still had the scar. Like I
Where'd you
had it on
sling
my
that,
leg.
though?
It wrapped around my leg, and it was cool. Like I had it for like I don't know, like 2 months or so. Like as it faded.
You
But
should have got
warrior.
it tattooed in.
I was just saying, it sounds like your next
Ooh.
tattoo idea.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
Jellyfish. Is that your spirit animal, Brando? The jellyfish?
I think it's becoming
He's
it.
a jelly.
No, fuck that.
He's a
jellyfish.
jelly.
Fuck that jellyfish.
Fuck that jellyfish.
Dude, my Australian aunt told me, like, at the beaches in Australia, she goes, you ain't got to worry about the sharks. You got to worry about the jellies. And I'm
Oh,
like,
they
oh, shit, dude.
They have the ridiculous shit down there.
The
Like I want to say
fucking-
the man
yeah.
of war
Yep,
jellyfish.
the man
which
of war. And
literally
there's,
will
like,
kill
another
you.
one
It's
that they
like-
say.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's some shit
box
in the ocean
jellyfish,
that I
that's
don't
what
want
it
to
is.
fuck with.
Box jellyfish.
a box
Yeah.
jellyfish. And she's like, it's just small enough to get right through the net. And I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Damn.
That makes me not want to go.
Yeah. No, SpongeBob definitely made jellyfish seem cooler than they are, or at least more chill.
Yeah. That disco party. Do you know what I'm talking about? The SpongeBob disco party. I always thought jellyfish were friendly.
No, it turns out they're not. They're
No.
assholes and they want to sting you. That's what I learned.
Finding Nemo did a good job. Finding Nemo was more realistic,
That's true.
for sure.
Yeah.
Or-
then you get the squishy one, and then you get the big squishies.
Yeah.
Dude, that also reminds me of like Surf's Up. They had like the sea urchin. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie. That movie's so fucking good.
That's the
But,
one with the penguin and the chicken, right?
Yep. And
Yep,
like
yep.
he like crushes a sea urchin and it cuts to the urchin and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he fucked me up, man. You know, see all this shit? It's broken, missing,
Yeah, I do remember that.
broken." So
That movie is
dude,
hilarious.
Surf's Up. It's the goat.
What about you, Hatch? You like oceans or what? What's your deal?
Do I like oceans?
Yeah.
Oh man,
the open
I
water, what-
do like oceans. I think they're completely fascinating, but I think I think it's so scary, man. I think there's just so much that we just don't know. That it's
Yeah.
like, dude, there's so much open water that, bro.
That's their home.
There's,
That's not
yeah,
our home.
exactly.
We don't go there.
There's-
They don't
there are
come on the
probably such-
land, and we don't go there. And that's
There's
the
probably
respectful
such big animals
relationship.
that we still have never even seen before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, these sailor stories, right? Where of stuff they see. Dude, that shit was probably real.
Yeah, people thought the giant squid was a myth for a long ass time. Turns out there are just huge ass squids underneath the ocean in places. Like,
yeah,
it's
that is
crazy.
terrifying, bro. And it's
Yeah.
like the way they grab, bro.
Yeah,
I
you're
would
just-
never want to be a victim of that, dude.
Just getting pulled in. You're fucked.
Then you get
Mhm.
bit by a fucking octobeak, whatever that shit is.
Octobeak, a big old beak.
Yeah, could you imagine getting your fucking forehead picked out with that shit? Hell no, dude.
That'd be
Giant
horrifying.
squid, worst way to go.
The beak is the size of Ryan,
Dude.
folded in half.
Hey, would you rather fight a giant squid or a sun bear, bro?
Sun bear. I have
You
a
know what I'm
chance.
saying?
I have a
I'll take the
chance.
sun bear. I'll take the sun bear.
Any animal that you're going into water to meet them, you lost. That's just that
You're already at a
not going to
disadvantage.
win. Like, I don't know.
Oh shit, dude. Okay, this might sound a little bit morbid, but I just remember seeing this like on the news
On
side
Reddit.
of Reddit. Yeah.
I knew it.
Dude, this fucking lady in Florida, she's like walking her dog on like the residential lake. Bro, a fucking alligator like, dude, middle of the lake, and it's like obviously swimming up towards it, bro. And then it like grabs her, right? And then it's like it cuts like the 911 call of like her neighbor freaking out, right? And pretty crazy, right? Neighbors freaking out. But I'm just like, when I'm watching the video of like the alligator like swim up, and you can like see it like plain as day, right? Even on the shitty ass camera, right?
You
and
see
I'm like,
that
man,
little like beak, kind of like
yeah, and I'm just like, I think she wanted to go. I think she was like, fuck it, it's my time. Be gone, Fido. And
we're talking about
the little dogs.
Wait, what?
No, the alligator got the old lady, not the dog.
Oh, I was confused. I thought it got the dog. Okay.
No, it got the old lady, bro. The dog survived.
That's
thank
a
God.
big difference in the story.
Yeah, right. So it's fucking crazy, right? The neighbor is going crazy. Oh my God, the fucking alligator got her, right? And it's fucking going crazy. And so
the dispatcher's like, "Is the dog good?"
But what the dog doing?
Like, the dispatch is like, "How big is the alligator?" And the lady's like, "I don't fucking know." It's like,
It's
obviously
just
big enough to
human.
fucking grab a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Alligator sized.
So I'm just thinking, I'm like, dude, but the video, I'm like, dude, it looked like she wanted to go. She was like, "This is my fucking time."
She was
I'm
like,
not gonna move.
you know what? My kids never come up here to see me anymore. My grandchildren don't like me. You know what? Let's just let's go out. And I think maybe that was
Dude.
her choice, you know?
I'm telling you,
It's
Ryan,
her
if I send you
choice.
that clip, dude, you're gonna think the exact same shit when you look at it. So I actually got a phone
Fucking
call about
Florida,
that. Like,
man.
Dude,
Florida's
I go,
different,
dude,
bro.
you see this clip? And I go, no. I was literally driving home from paintball, and someone sent it to me. So
Oh my gosh.
Did I don't know. I think I did. Did I tell you guys the first time I went to an NXL in Florida? The time we watched a guy catch a baby alligator.
jumped over the fence, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
actually,
Okay.
I actually
I'm
saw
not
this. I actually saw this, but I saw it on a paintball player's Snapchat story.
I think I still have the videos. Yeah.
Okay. So what
happened?
happened? Yeah, because I haven't. I think I may have heard this story off the show, but I don't think we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah. Like we played. Call it Saturday. We played. Got back to the hotel. Got ready. Went out for dinner. Came back and we're driving, and you know how in Florida has those like man-made lakes or whatever, pools of water or whatever. Well, there was a fence around it, but it was like, chest high. You could jump over it. It was right behind our hotel. So we drive by, and there's a lady standing at the fence, like pointing over the fence, and it looks like she's talking to someone. And, we drive closer, and we see a guy, like her boyfriend or husband or whatever, at the edge of the water on the other side of the fence. And, ooh, dude. And we get out, and we walk over, and there's a bunch of baby alligators in the water, and he has like a stick or something trying to like get them to come over. And so we sit there and watch him, and she's like, "Hey, babe, can you just come back?" He's like, "Oh, hold on. He's trying to catch one." And she just wants him to come back. And then eventually, like, he's not successful. He comes back, he jumps over, we're talking to him, and he's like, "You know what? I'll try again." So he jumps back over, but he hides behind a tree. And I had like, so that they don't see him, but he has a stick trying to bait him or something, and eventually gets him on shore, out of the water, coming up to him, and he's right behind a tree. But as he's doing this, when the alligators, their eyes are above water, when they go back down, it sends that water ripple.
Mhm.
And there's big ones. You could see it. Oh shit, there's one. Oh fuck, there's one there. And we're watching, and it's taken 10-15 minutes for him to get these baby alligators to get closer and closer to him, and we're watching these big ripples. Holy fuck. Are we gonna watch this man die? And we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna watch. We're filming and watching.
We're
What
recording.
are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And
We're trying to get
eventually
Reddit or karma on Reddit for posting this on Darwin Awards.
hell yeah.
Dude, let me just say, the mic quality is adding to my suspense, bro. Holy
The
shit,
mic
bro.
quality, the
Dude.
camera quality,
God
dude,
damn,
I'm on the
bro.
edge of my seat.
And he finally grabs one, and I've never heard the sound that it's made before in my life.
Oh, I could probably
but
do it.
Maybe
like-
I've never.
Yeah. That was the worst fucking.
It-
That was the worst part I've ever done. Yep, something like that, dude. Something like
It
that.
sounded like AK's laugh. All right, all right.
I can do that one hella good. Dude, it's something like that.
AK
Something like that.
AK keeps catching strays on the show. Sorry, bro.
But it's making this loud fucking noise, and only assuming like calling for mama, and we're just like, holy fuck, dude, get the fuck back over this fence. And again, you're seeing ripples, and just expecting a full-grown alligator to come out chasing him. But he has it. He jumps over the fence, and I mean, I don't know. This thing's like, I don't know, 3 feet long, maybe, and he's holding it, and it's like whipping its tail back and forth, and he's struggling. He has one hand around the mouth, and the other hand at the base of the tail, and it's whipping, and he's struggling with it. This little baby alligator, and he's fucking struggling. And we're touching it and all. Some of us held it, but you could hear just the fucking tail hitting his arm, just slapping him, and it was so powerful. So he takes it to his car, and we're like, holy shit! Like, we just watched a guy
just kidnap an alligator.
That's
All
cool.
right.
Kill an alligator.
Florida man.
Really?
Took it to his car. Oh no, this is good. Hold on. He wasn't from Florida. He takes it to his car, comes back like 2 minutes later with a bunch of rubber bands around its mouth, and then like lets us hold it and take pictures and stuff. And then we asked him, "What are you gonna do with it?" He's like, "I'm from New York. I'm gonna take it back home and raise it." And that's what he did. They got in the car, and he drove back home.
This man flips.
New York plates.
This man flips gators. There's no way this man does not flip gators. Like, what?
Imagine we heard on like the news where it's like, New York man dead at 27 in his apartment, full size American alligator.
Or no, I was gonna laugh like, New York man found dead after gang attributed shooting. It appears this man was a alligator dealer. The alligators are known to be very proud choices of the gang owners. I don't know, just like some random shit like that. Dude, I feel like that'd be hilarious.
That one actually would make sense.
Yeah, maybe that's what he was doing.
Trader.
He was flipping gators, bro.
I'm more of a Crocs guy myself.
I'm a Crocs guy. I like Crocs better. No, and it is funny, Brandon, you talked about gators. Like, their strength is honestly the more impressive part. Because, like, their go-to move is, I'm going to bite you. That's not going to kill you, though. I'm going to bite you, and then I'm just going to violently roll for 30 seconds, and, like, good luck. Water. Like, I'm going to shred you. I'm going to drown you. It's alligators and Crocs are dinosaurs that just haven't died yet. Like, I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
I agree. Dude, I don't know if you want to check the chat, but I did post the baby alligator sounds.
Yeah, I'm probably not. I can't really play that. I mean, maybe I'll add it in. Maybe I'll add it in later, but I can't like.
That's more for you personally. That's more for everybody personally.
All right,
I want to know what they sound like too, honestly.
Well, okay. Now I'm writing down time code. Add alligator voice.
It was so much louder.
But it sounded like that.
It was incredibly loud, and like, but it was rapid.
Oh, obviously he's freaking out because
he was too stimulated. He was like, "Get me out of here, dude!"
Can you imagine just
a murder call? I'm about to die.
Just imagine a giant coming down. Like, dude, I think about that all the time with we have the golden retriever puppy Scout, and I think about that all the time when I go and grab her. Like, how does that feel? Like, you're just this little tiny thing, and then this 6'4" human just picks you up, and you're just like, oh, okay, all right, I'm coming. What's up, man?
I had Cedar pick up his dog and show him like all the top of the counters and stuff.
I thought you were gonna say you had Cedar pick you up. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, so I can see the top of his counters.
Makes sense. I mean, you need that help too.
I go, because his dog is hell low to the ground, and it's like just constantly staring at the ground. And I'm like, Cedar, does that dog even know what like the ceiling looks like? He goes, damn, I don't know. So he fucking picks her up. He's like, this is the top of the fridge. This is the top of the cabinets, and he's like showing him just like everywhere.
I mean, she's like mostly blind though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cedar's
very
dog.
close look.
God, that dog is just it's hanging on, man, and it's
dude consciously hanging on.
I don't want to say it, but that dog is not long for this world. Like,
that dog is
she's
amazing,
cute.
bro.
She's so cute and
is
lovely.
she cute? She just kind of looks dead. I'm not gonna lie. Like every time I've seen her, and maybe it's because I've seen her at the field and not like her home natural habitat. But
dude, she's lit as hell at home, bro.
Okay, at the field, she's just so scared and like I'm about to die. Like any moment, she looks like it's the last one. So maybe that's why I have a bad opinion.
She can't see 5 steps in front of her, so at any point for her,
that would make sense then. Yeah, just like.
The nearsightedness of Nelly Cedar's dog is just astronomical, and dude, I have seen that dog. Dude, I actually have a video of it now. I think about it. I'm like, all right, see, let's go for a walk, and dude, this motherfucker, dog walks for 30 steps maybe, puts the dog in the stroller and pushes the dog the rest of the way. I'm like, are you kidding me, Cedar? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, Cedar? I'll find that.
So Cedar's a dog dad.
Dude,
he's gotta like
that one. Is, that I was walking with. It was me, Cedar, and old teammate Brandon, Nick Horn, right?
Oh, Nick,
and dude,
shout out Nick.
That dog is living the luxurious life.
Oh, dude,
before Cedar had a week, and now it's got maybe 10 years. Cedar is.
That's a good point. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
he's
keeping that dog alive.
Dude, he's like, dude, the amount of allergies this bitch got, and I'm like, holy shit. He's like, dude, medication alone, that's like forever money, and that dog.
But I respect it. He loves this dog. He loves this damn dog.
Yeah,
he ain't letting that dog die.
Hyperglycemic when it's food. So, dude,
it's got diabetes.
Everything, bro.
Oh my!
I don't know about diabetes.
Well, that's what hypoglycemic means.
Something like that, maybe. Right? Dude, it's like if the dog eats a fucking hot Cheeto off the ground, it's dead. Like
that's diabetes.
It has to stick to a specific diet, bro. And I'm like, man, dude, I just want to give it a good old fashioned McDonald's fry.
Yo, you know? I was thinking
just
this
a farewell meal. Here's a big
Just for the one first time in your life, enjoy a nice meal, and also the last time in your life.
The dog's like, dude, kibble again.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I have always thought, and I was thinking about this the other day, being a golden retriever for a dual income, no kids family has to be maybe the best life to live. Like it's up there as like you have no worries. You are spoiled out of your mind. Your family loves you, so it's like
everyone's happy to see you all the time.
You're happy to see everyone. Like
you're too cute to do anything wrong.
Yep. Even when you do things wrong, it's a little bit, but then it's like, okay, buddy. So yeah.
Center of attention all the time.
It's like, oh, I can't stay mad, even though you just fucked all my stuff up.
Well, I mean, dude, I feel like that's the only reason we've like dealt with puppies for so long. We're like, you're cute. All right, I won't kill you. Like, you just tore up my sofa, peed inside, my like car, and I don't know, did a whole bunch of other things. And it's like, well, but you're cute. All right, I'll let you live.
Worth it. It's a false sense of what my dog for sure would fuck up a robber. Hell no, my dog ain't fucking up a robber. My dog is greeting that guy with open arms, bro.
Oh yeah, like
my dog is.
We're
not
saying that
robber,
about
bro.
my brother's. He has 2 Goldens, but the older one, Pivo, he's like what? He's like 4 or 5 now. Like he's getting up there. But it was my sister-in-law's dog before they got married, and so there was a lot of times where like you either had to go to training somewhere for the Navy or like maybe had a things she had to be at, so he would be with a whole bunch of different families, and it's hilarious. Like this dog has no loyalty. Like he's like, it doesn't matter who you are, if you come in, he's like, oh hey, what's up, man? Okay, nice to meet you, like you're a new friend. And it's like
hanging out now.
Yeah, he's just so used to having new owners that it's like, yeah, if someone came to rob me, he'd become his friend. Like he would not like care.
I think it would depend on the demeanor from my dog, for sure.
Well, dude,
Your dog
that's
doesn't
true.
like people,
Oh my
right,
God.
Brando?
Well, I was just gonna say this, because I saw something today that really like it hits the nail on the head whenever we've talked about Belgian Mals versus like Labradors or like Golden Retrievers, and it was an audio reel and it was a video of this Mal just like looking crazy at the dude, just like that like oh let's work,
hyper focused,
and the voiceover was like, hey dad, so I just removed those bullets from those Iraqi heads, so that way it can't ever be traced back to us. And then it goes over to like a Golden Retriever who's just sitting there with like his stuffed animal, and he's like, I saw a balloon today. And it's like that. Yep, that's the difference between those two breeds. Like, Dax is ready to murder someone, and Scout is like, "Hi, I'm your friend."
Yeah.
Just
I like that. I like the nice chill dogs, dude.
dogs are funny like that.
I
They're just so
when,
different.
when I went to the store to Sack Paintball, Doss was there. He had one of his dogs. I guess it's one of the newer dogs.
One of his pack.
Did you say Malachi or something? Yeah.
Yeah, Malachi.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. That dog was so sweet. Like, he was sitting down, then he took it off the leash, and it was me, him, and J-Bo, and like, he's like, all right, go play, or go say hi, and like, that thing was so sweet.
Mal's
And then-
they're. I do see why Doss likes them. It's just I don't
They'd be so
have
friendly, and
an
then you turn
hour
into a
and a
killing
half
machine.
free every day to spend on just exercising and training the dog, and those dogs need that. If you don't have that, they're not going to be the best they can be. But
Yeah, we have a Doberman. This is actually our second Doberman. We had a Doberman for like 8 years, and then passed away, and then we got another one. But they need the training for sure.
Yeah.
And if
there's some breeds that are
even
just like that.
if you slapped a little, you're like, oh, I can tell you're not getting that. Someone's not training you for that. Like, the dog lives over at my dad's house, and he does a great job with her. Her name's Kona, but she's got personality for sure, and like a not a dominant personality, like a commanding personality. Like, there's things she knows she can get away with, kind of thing. Like, she very much has some ownership in the household.
Almost like a little too smart for her own good. Almost like kind
She
of.
knows what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart dog for sure.
No,
Ryan met my dog.
I did. Yeah, he's a good boy. He did not say hi to me, but that is okay. I was there if he was ready, and if he wasn't, then that's okay. It's on his terms. And
Brandon, does your dog not like people?
Not really.
I don't think so.
really.
He's scared of him.
Me and Cedar both were like doing the like, not gonna look at
Yeah,
you. What's up, dude? You want to say hi?
You know what's funny?
And he was like, nope, I'm not gonna say hi. And we're like, okay.
After you walked away, AJ walks up and goes, "Hey, buddy," and like, he goes up to AJ. And like,
That's hella funny.
and Cedar's still there, like, hand out.
Yeah, like
head facing
doing
away,
all
like,
the right dog
I'm
training
ready when you're ready,
things.
buddy. And AJ goes, "Nah, I just like their dogs just like me." And he's like there up in his face, and yeah, he's sniffing AJ and everything. And
That's
yeah,
hella funny.
it was funny.
That dog's like, finally, someone who understands me.
Meanwhile, he's like, what the fuck is this other dude doing? No, that's all funny. Yeah, dogs, man. They're an interesting thing. We decided to tame these wolves a couple thousand years ago, and now we have these things that live with us.
Now they're fucking pugs, bro. What the hell is
That's
that
always
thing?
my go-to of like, what the fuck did we do? Like, you took
I
a
think
wolf
of like,
and
I
made
think
a
of like
pug.
Chihuahuas as well, dude. Like Chihuahuas as well. Those dogs are
A little bit.
too much for me, bro.
I used to have a Chihuahua wiener mix. They're cute.
Yeah, I will
Used
say,
to.
when it comes to small
Used
dogs,
to.
I think like dachshunds are like this small dog that I kind of like. Like, I don't know. I feel like they've got more of the kind of like funny personality than just like, I don't know. Chihuahuas just hate everything. They're just
So loud and
scared.
yappy.
Yeah, and like same
They're
with
all
like
bark, no bite.
Yorkies. A lot of my families had Yorkies growing up. I can't stand
Ow.
those little dogs.
like Malteses. My grandparents had Malteses. God
Yeah,
damn,
anything
bro.
that's like a small terrier, no, I don't want it.
If it's under 20 pounds, it's a goddamn cat, bro.
It's a rat. It's not a cat.
Football.
I would agree.
But going against that is dachshunds, because I feel like dachshunds are chill as fuck, because they're just like, I don't know, they got their own personality, because they're like, dude, my back's gonna break in 3 years, so you need to like me, or else this isn't gonna
my
go
back's
very
gonna break
well.
in 3 years. Poor guy.
That's
bad
you've
back
seen them,
problem.
right? Like
Yeah, I have.
they shouldn't exist, but yet they do, and oh, good for you guys.
Poor guys.
You look like a
Poor guys.
freaking Dodger dog.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah,
Damn
fully
glizzy
said it.
dog.
Yo,
Glizzy.
also, side note that just was reminding me as my hair is starting to get really freaking annoying because usually I wear a hat. But, dude, I can't wait. Finally getting a haircut Thursday. God damn, it's been way too long.
Dude, you should
Shit's
grow
been
out
getting
the
shaggy.
emo cut, bro.
I'm not growing out a
Close
mullet.
tonight
I
will
can't
be
I
the
can't commit
night
to a
that
mullet.
I will fall for
Man.
you.
I just can't, dude.
Yeah, so like I can't grow a mullet because like I don't have enough hair on my head. But I was thinking, first event we win in semi-pro, I will shave my head.
Like bald.
Or
Bald.
hear me out, skullet. So a skullet is a mullet that instead of having anything up front, it's a fade back to the long in the back. That may be a look.
So you think you can do it?
I thought it looked appropriate.
I was
for the
just
kids,
gonna
man.
say. I was just gonna say. As a teacher, you may get some weird questions, but that may be a look.
It's bald or bust if I'm doing any sort of haircuts for a victory.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
That's a good point. Yeah, no growing stashes, no weird things. Yeah.
I gotta keep it pro up
But you
here.
can grow a good stash though, Paul.
I can, yes.
So what's up? Would you grow a good stash?
He works with children. No.
So?
Like.
Ish. Like as stashes I would want to get is who's his face from the new
CHP.
Top Gun? Nah, that's not my vibe.
You
Miles
talking about
Teller?
like Miles Teller?
Yeah, that one. That's like his stashes I would go.
His little like kind of little bit dirty stash.
Not the overplayed. I like that.
Well, it is kind of funny too because Navy stashes go harder than that. Like my brother, when he's deployed,
like the
oh my
CHP
god, he
Caterpillar.
literally looks like Tom Selleck from Magnum PI. Literally, go look up that picture, and that's my brother's stash.
Okay,
It's
okay,
hilarious.
yeah. I like
It's
that
the
one. I
thick,
like-
just like meaty, hanging over.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
That's like the same thing as like a CHP stash. I like that shit a lot. Where it's
Yeah.
like good old fashioned, the Caterpillar.
Yeah, it's just a thick boy, and it's just
Just an
ratting
eyebrow
on
on your. It's an eyebrow above your mouth.
It's your third eyebrow.
Yeah.
I've never
Low
thought of
key.
a stash that way, but that's kind of funny.
Low key.
But
I'm
now,
like I can get away with a beard though pretty well. I don't know about the hard
Would you go out
mustache.
and
Yeah, like a cleaned up, nice little cut beard.
Like I had one like
I remember.
Who
and I
knows
remember
what long ago.
when you cut it, I was like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Who
I
is
realized
this
it was
guy?
you.
Who's
Yeah.
that guy?
That
Yeah,
beard, though, was quite fire.
I mean I'm not against it. I just I prefer the less.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'm the opposite. I shaved during this off season, and I felt like a 4-year-old child, and I was like, "Fuck this! I need facial hair back." So, yeah, probably not gonna do that again for at least another year, and then come to the same conclusion. This doesn't look good. I need the hair back. So, and then just that keeps going, and that's gonna be the rest of my life.
Why do I keep on doing this?
You think one day I'd learn, right?
I
Nah.
can't grow a beard, bro. I can't grow anything like that.
Yeah, we know, bitch, we know.
I mean, if I really push it to the awkward stage, I probably could. But
Well, that's,
it
I
just
mean,
seems a little bit patchy. right
really,
here.
like, spoiler alert for beards, you don't have to grow one in like 2 or 3 months. Like, grow one out, go get like someone nice to like trim it down, shape it up, clean it up, and then like let that kind of fill in from there. Like I don't know. I feel like you don't have to. It's not like a haircut where it's like you got to grow this in the time it takes to get the next haircut. You can take your time with the beard. You can shape that thing. You can get it nice.
I know. I got
nice
the most
and- nice and
I got
perfect.
the most high maintenance mustache.
I was gonna
in
say
paintball,
you
bro.
should know that out of all of us. You've got the
Yeah,
curly Q mustache going on.
Yeah, that one's. Let me tell you, there are sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta put it up."
I
got
gotta
work
put
to do.
mustache wax in.
Yeah, I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I gotta pull out the hair dryer and all that bullshit, right? I gotta blow
Yeah.
out the wax."
Have I told you, Hatch, that I used to have a curly mustache too?
Yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
you show me a picture. It
Yeah.
was it was
Back-
a nice little one.
Back in the day, yeah, it was dirty. It was dirty. It was not clean like yours, but
a little curly Q.
it worked. It was cool. But yeah,
Hell
no
yeah.
longer. Now I just commit to the full facial hair. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's less
Would you
creepy
ever
to
grow-
me.
Would you ever grow out some little curly Qs on the end, on top of the beard?
Maybe, I don't know. It's just kind of annoying, dude, to have to like use the wax and everything, because like that was the part that annoyed me. Is just every day, just like trying to curl it and like get it in the right spot, and I don't know.
I'm actually at
Like
the
your,
point to where
it's like your fidget spinner though. Like it's something to
It
like.
pretty much is. That's what it becomes. You just
Dude,
kind of
man.
get like used to
Yeah,
just
that's
curling it. And
party.
just...
I'm getting to the point to where I could probably hang some ornaments on this bitch by the time next Christmas.
Some mistletoe.
That'd be
Yeah,
hilarious.
fuck yeah, mistletoe.
I can make Christmas cards, send it out to all your
Make
hot girls that you
Christmas
like.
come to you.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
that'd be a fire photo shoot, bro.
Yeah.
The December calendar.
I think it would be. But we are kind of I don't know. I would say getting towards the latter half of the show. And we haven't, unfortunately, talked about our sponsor for the show yet tonight. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And their name's Liquid IV. Hey, yeah, perfect. Awesome.
I guess we know. I knew this was happening.
I was going to say, like, we did kind of, I guess, talk about them when Paul brought it up. But, time to do the actual ad read. So Liquid IV, it's a really great product. They've come on to help sponsor Mafia Productions, and yeah, it's definitely like the go-to drink I use when it comes to hydration now. So I'm not really like big on Gatorade anymore, Transfuse, Pedialyte, any of those drinks. I'm just using this now. There's not as much sugar in it as some of those other drinks. There's more electrolytes in some of those other drinks, and it also has a whole bunch of vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. So yeah, it's a great option. It's cheaper than some of those other options as well too. Transfuse to name one, but those kind of, I don't know, those other powder options might be on the little more expensive side. So if you want to try out one, you can head over to liquidiv.com. The code, like we said earlier in the show, Mafia_Moffat, it gets you 20% off and free shipping. So if you want to go try out some of their flavors, like my personal favorite, it's the lemon lime. I know Hatch's strawberry, Brando's golden cherry. What's yours? What's your favorite flavor, Paul?
I don't know if I've tried all of them to say I have a favorite, but tonight I am drinking strawberry.
Strawberry is a good one. I can co-sign that. That's a good second choice. But yeah, so lemon lime, that's mine. So I got my box right here for it. But yeah, so if you need some hydration, whether you're going to the field, waking up from drinking too much, I don't know. If you need water in your body and you need to do it quickly, Liquid IV is definitely going to be the choice for you. So like we said, one more time, head over to liquidiv.com, and that code again is Mafia_Moffat, MAFIA_MOFFITT. So thank you again to Liquid IV for sponsoring the show. And yeah, we're getting through it. I think this has been a great episode, Paul. I appreciate you coming on, telling us a little bit of the background of the kind of the Squall story and your journey into this DMG team. So definitely very excited to see how you guys do. And yeah, we'll have to have you on for sure as the year goes to kind of see pick your brain about how you think everything's going.
Mid-season check-in. I'm all about it. Thanks for having me.
Little mid-season invitational.
Yeah.
So what's up now, dude?
No. I thought he was gonna say something more, but yeah. So thank you again to Liquid IV. Other fucking I don't know. That got me off my train of thought there because I thought Paul was gonna say more words and I was not ready for it. But yeah. So for Brandon Baird and Stephen Hatch, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffat, and also for our guest Paul Stallard as well. This has been another episode of From the Sideline. It's episode 31, and we'll go ahead and catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Peace out.